That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hi, this is Matthew Leach. I played First Sergeant Talbot in Band of Brothers.
Hi, this is licensed battlefield guide Paul Bailey.
Hi, I'm Dale Fetzer.
Hi, I'm John Rothman.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Hi, this is Anthony Bordner. I'm a huge fan of Addressing Gettysburg. It is the greatest and most quality podcast ever. And you're listening to it right now. God, you're so lucky.
Don't ever go on America Got Talent. You won't make it.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill.
Don't give them fuel.
3rd Battalion, 3rd Marine Infantry Regiment.
I could house that load.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg
Today.
Where did this idea come from?
I'm from Clarion. I ate a lot at one moment. I usually take smaller bites.
All right, Beth. Enough with your eating history. How are you, Bethany? And how are you all at home? Welcome to Address Gettysburg today. It's Thursday, September 5th. Happy birthday to my sister and to Cindy's mama. It is birthday day here on Addressing Gettysburg. Very exciting. Very exciting. Cindy, did you call your mother and wish her a happy birthday?
The call is later. I did the normal Facebook post this morning.
The normal Facebook post this morning? Okay.
Did you call your sister?
I did. After my father reminded me, I knew it was her birthday, and I gave her a call this afternoon.
Is she older or younger?
She's younger, but much more mature.
Well, I was going to say it doesn't take much.
So we, said happy birthday. And she's like, what's new with you? I'm like, not much. And she's like, okay, good.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, see you later. And that was about the extent of it there.
My mother does that to me. She goes, I say, hi, I just calling to say hi. And she goes, okay, bye.
Yep.
Hi, how are you? Bye.
She really doesn't. Your mother doesn't like you. That's what I've determined. Is your mother? She just doesn't like you, and she doesn't want anything to do with you.
No, she thinks I'm a horrible human.
Well, I don't know about that, but she certainly doesn't like you.
Oh no.
I've rearranged my setting here.
I'm noticing, and I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I feel like it's too heavy on this side.
Okay, so I was feeling before it's too heavy on this side.
On?
Yeah, you're on. You can't hear yourself?
No.
Oh, God, what has happened? Oh, you know why? I'm sorry, because of this. When Jason Martz was on, he was like, it's too loud in my ears. And I was like, oh, okay. So I turned it way down.
He is delicate.
He is very delicate. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
I don't remember.
You were saying the feng shui.
The feng shui is off. It's too much going on over here. I feel like you're going to reach for something over here and you're going to whack your computer right off the table.
The only thing I have to reach for is my megaphone.
No, you reach for papers over here all the time.
They're right here. No, I moved them over. So I've got my notes over here. I'm right-handed, right? And so what I don't like is when I'm talking to you and I go to look at the computer while you're talking, is I go like this, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'm not looking at you. But here I can just go look at you and just, but then
you don't need to look at me.
My glasses. God, I hate getting old.
Yeah, you don't need to look at me.
Oh, well, it's rude to not, you know what I'm saying? But also, when I do a history show or something and I have the computer, I still want to look at the guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then, big news, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
Get Out of the Car tours are back for September and October. Yes.
Your permit was approved?
My permit was approved, and it is all due to Cindy. So when you come out on the tour on Saturday, September 21st, I think, make sure you thank Cindy because she's the one who put up with the gnarly government permit application on the website. It's very confusing, but we did it. We did it. She did it because I would have thrown my laptop through the window and I would have said, F it, we'll look to next year. But
that's Cindy.
But that's Cindy. I felt such a responsibility to the people that I made Cindy fill out the application, and so So
it was done right.
It was done. It was done right,
Yeah.
and it was done.
Yeah.
It was done. Period.
Yeah.
And so she did. She did it. And so now here we are. And I have to thank Pam Neal in the park over there because she, the September one, I got it in.
She expedited it.
She expedited it. And then ultimately I have to thank Chris Heister for approving it in time. In October, I knew we would get approved because there was plenty of time.
Yeah.
September, cutting it a little close. I got to say, I was cutting it a little close.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and it was painless. And good news, though, I was confused because I thought from the initial email that Pam sent about having to get permits for the tours, I thought that I had to get a special use permit for the tour and a filming permit.
Oh.
And so I thought that was 2 permits that I had to apply for. But that is not the case. 1 permit, special use permit, and then commercial filming was the so really it's like a filming permit that we have to do the tour. So for those of you who can't make it out, we will have video of it. There's video of the May tour. I just never put it together.
There's video, but you can't watch it.
I'll get to it sometime, probably over the winter. Who the hell knows? But in other news, and Tim, if you're watching, I'm sorry I didn't call you back this morning, and at any point today, but I got swamped. But I will call you tomorrow. In other news, the nonprofit, the foundation that Tim has set up is officially given the nod by the IRS. So yes. And that's good news. That's good news for everybody because here's why. You won't hear me bitching so much about wanting to do videos or wanting to do this or that, but I don't have the money to hire people to help me do the videos and things like that. Should you donate to this? Should we get corporate donors and stuff? We will be able to do all of that jazz.
You can fill out for grants now.
I know. Australian grants and American grants. Our favorite grant is the Australian, of course.
Yes.
Right.
I found another reason why I don't like your computer over here.
Why?
All the cords are under my feet.
No.
Stepping on them.
They're all over here.
What am I stepping on?
Colby, you're very good at organizing wires. Just kick that out of the way. I don't know what that is.
I'm afraid I'm gonna.
There's so many wires. It is a rat's nest under this table. Eric was very good. Eric, the producer. He really got everything all, wrapped up and he'd get electrical tape and label it, camera 1, camera 2, so that when we had to get in there, we knew what to do. And then when Eric left, I just lost all lust for life and the ability to. I'm not organized like that. But this is a mess under here, and maybe one day Colby will come over and help me.
I'm just afraid I step on it and then unplug something in the middle of.
Yeah, no, I know. That's exactly what's going to happen. Or you're going to knock a camera off kilter or something.
And it's going to be
that.
all your fault,
yeah,
Bethany.
It will be. It will be.
I realized something while Colby was gone.
You missed him?
Well, I did. But I also noticed that he knows me more than I want.
Better than you know yourself.
He knows my Catholic guilt buttons to press.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be the hitting you with the all your fault.
Oh, yeah. You do that sometimes. You've done it with other times, too, and made me feel about this big. But it's perfect for the show.
Yes.
But it makes it funny because I'm like, oh, damn, he really knows me.
Listen, yes. I understand that. I understand that religious guilt there, man.
Yeah,
we talked about it. I grew up Pentecostal. They throw guilt around like it's
Going out of style.
Is it guilt that they throw around, or is it more like fear?
Both, but guilt.
Yeah.
Probably guilt. He hits you with the guilt the most. You know, they come after that conscience.
Let me finish the first topic before we
Conscience.
move on to bashing religions. So September 21st, 10 a.m., the tour is planning for Pickett's Charge. If you go to addressinggettysburg.com, you can find all this there. Generals Lee, Longstreet, and A.P. Hill rode up and dismounted. Seated themselves. Okay. See, Lewis, you got to use commas here. Rode up and, dismounting, seated themselves on the trunk of a fallen tree some 50 or 60 yards from where I sat on my horse at the right of our division. So that is a little teaser there for planning for Pickett's Charge. That's September 21st at 10 a.m. You're going to meet between the North Carolina and Tennessee monuments. It's going to end in the same area. Park where legal, park where legal, park where legal. Also, you might want to, what was I going to say? You might want to realize that, why am I hearing him talk?
I think my mic's on.
Wait, yeah. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, shut up.
Colby, bust in on the intercom if you need to, okay? No. Okay. So, yeah, I'm September 21st. It's also World War II weekend over at Eisenhower. A lot going on. I think we'll be lucky if we've got about 15, 20 people that show up to this because I think, because we didn't have it. It was up in the air if we were going to have it. So people, I think, made other plans.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised because people will be out to support you.
I doubt that. But you know what?
Okay.
Maybe you're right. But October 19th.
As I always am.
10 a.m., October 19th. Do you see those colors? Take them. Hancock on Cemetery Ridge. Perhaps no other corps commander in the Army of the Potomac was as active and responsible for the successful defense of Cemetery Ridge during July 2nd and July 3rd, 1863 than Major General Winfield Scott Hancock. Join us as we examine the leadership in action. The leadership and actions of Major General Hancock during the fighting of July 2nd, 1863.
Wow.
Meet at Ziegler's Grove, Torrance on Hancock, at the Hancock Wounded Monument, Park where legal, as always. So that's it there.
Wait,
it's, of course,
starts where?
Mm-hmm.
Where does it start?
Ziegler's Grove. We're meeting at Ziegler's Grove, and then we're ending down at the Hancock Wounding Monument.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, that's a long way, but I guess it's really not.
No, it's nothing. Ain't nothing. All right, now... you, Bethany, last week referred to this top 10 list that you made about why winter is better than summer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Give us this list here. Do you now you wrote
They're
this?
not in order of importance.
Why did you even make this in the first place?
Because
that's my question.
you made fun of me several weeks ago about the fact that I'm a ridiculous human for not liking summer. And thinking that winter is better.
You
Scorpion woman!
Yes.
Exactly. And so now I am going to tell you why it is better. Winter is better.
All right. So Bethany is in this is in no particular order.
No particular order.
Okay. Well, then go ahead. Not particularly.
Okay. There's less humidity.
You don't like humidity.
Who does? I have never met a single person on the face of the planet
Colby, you like humidity?
who enjoys humidity.
Love humidity.
What do you love
I want to
about
walk outside and feel sticky.
All right. There you go. Less humidity. What is number 9?
Okay. There is more variety in your clothing choices. So you can wear the same undershirt with more over things like a coat or a sweater or something like that.
I'll give you that one too.
Okay.
I always feel
Your
more
wardrobe
confident walking around in the winter because I can cover up all the things I hate.
I didn't even have that on here, but that's another one.
But that's part of it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you kind of said it there.
That's what you were you kind of saying that. Also, you could make the same argument in the summer that you don't have to wear as much clothes. You know, you can.
Well, that's why I like it, because I don't have to, but then I have the agony of look at my belly on this one, look at my man tits in this one.
An 11th point that is cover fat.
What? Oh, you got an 11th point. Okay,
you just gotta get a tan, and then you're not worried about it.
Exactly. What's the next one?
Yes, you are. Speaking of a skinny person. Anyway, a fresh coat of snow. There is nothing better than a fresh coat of snow that makes everything look clean and white.
Yeah, for a day.
Yeah, and then it's absolute trash after that.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
It's just muddy, gray nastiness.
Okay, next, moving on.
All right, moving on.
Fewer allergies.
Fewer allergies.
As somebody who suffers from allergies, Matt Calorie, you have to say that you appreciate wintertime when there is less allergies.
Actually, you can ask Cindy this. Cindy,
don't you dare say you have more allergies in the winter.
I do. Cindy.
I know that's not true.
No, I'll back him up. I have more allergies in the fall.
Shut
and
up,
the spring.
Chris! Cindy. It's our guest I'm yelling at. So, last winter, right, when we moved in together, how bad were my allergies?
Terrible.
That had nothing to do with you moving in together and it being...
No, it's because I have them every year.
It had to do with you went from a house...
Yes, to a house.
That I cleaned, so I know exactly what it was like.
Right.
To a house that didn't have all that and your entire body was in a kerfluffle. That's what that was.
No, but I get it every year no matter where I am.
I'm with Matt. I get my allergies when the temperature cools down.
Yeah.
Summertime, allergy free.
I think it was a dry air allergy that I had because I had to use a humidifier and it would help a lot if I had the humidifier.
But anyway,
I am not full of that. But go ahead.
He went before we went live.
Exactly.
Less insects.
Oops, joke.
Fewer insects is correct.
Fewer insects.
Okay. Fewer insects.
What about snakes though? They try to get in your house more during the winter.
Right, they got to warm up.
I don't have that issue, but okay.
I've caught 3 in my basement.
Cotton. You've cotton.
Of cotton.
Okay, so
full of crap.
So now wait, you have this thing about the insects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You would have loved it yesterday. We went on an inspection of the house that we put the offer in on, and I was down in the crawl space, which was very nice. It was very dry. It was we were very surprised.
Do you want me to clean this house?
But
Don't
there
tell
were
me about this.
crickets.
Oh, that I can deal with.
But they were this big.
I can deal with crickets.
I mean, I said to him, I go, are those spiders or crickets crawling up that wall? He's like, they're crickets. I'm like, all right, not so bad. What's next, Bethany?
Okay. Fewer sweat.
Less sweat.
Fewer sweat.
You were right.
If that ain't a soundbite, I don't know what is.
I did it on purpose.
Bethany, you will live on forever on the internet.
I did that on purpose. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the
you're being
Immortals.
a jerk face.
Fewer sweat.
Fewer sweat.
Hey, Cam.
Yeah, right.
Was it hot yesterday? No, I had fewer sweat.
I had fewer sweat.
My shirt was more dry.
Now this is just
Did you not? Like, I was being funny.
Yeah,
it's called being funny.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. It's
okay.
Telling a joke.
No, I understand that.
Less
And that was
sweat.
very clever. Very clever.
Thank
What's
you.
next?
Less sweat. The holidays.
The holidays.
Yeah, that's why you like it better.
Wait, you like the you can have hollandaise any time of the year.
Not
That's right.
holidays. Holidays.
Don't be saucy with me, Bernays. All right, what's next?
All right. It is. I can't say a proven fact.
Funniest line in any
but
movie.
I do feel like it is 100% true that you can see the stars better in the wintertime.
Oh, I think that is true because the air has no humidity in it.
Oh, like the top first one that
Like
I
the
said?
top one that you said. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Okay, what's next?
There is a cozy atmosphere.
That's intangible. That's a personal vibe though. I don't know if you can put that on the list.
It is on the list. And Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
It's better than summer vacation?
The movie. She's talking about the movie.
Oh.
She's talking about the movie.
I'm talking about all versions of Christmas Vacation.
I think Christmas is the biggest nightmare time of year. And I've said this before. I'm not going to go deep into it. It is exhausting. You run up your credit cards or drain your bank account buying gifts that no one's going to remember you got them, that you don't even remember what you got. And there's all the schlep, there's all the shopping, the running around, and then if you get snow in that time, you got to do all that shit in the snow, and then the worst of it all, the music, the Christmas.
Ooh, I love the music.
Oh, but incessantly though,
dude, I'll start listening to Bing Crosby like a good solid month before you're supposed to be listening to Christmas music. I will do that.
No, I can't.
No,
I can't.
so here's the thing. I feel like you may be doing Christmas wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what we do in my family, I mean, excluding Mom because she was born on Christmas Day, so Christmas is
it's her birthday.
Yeah, it's insanity. But we take each other out for lunch, or we go and do something together. We don't buy each other gifts.
Okay.
And it's very nice.
So you, excuse me, you don't actually do like the Christmas dinner thing, or?
We do, but also remember that my family is only 4 people.
Well, so mine is too. We don't. Yeah. We didn't get together with all the extended members of the family. It was just us.
Yeah.
And our grandparents.
Well, I don't
but
have any.
2 of the 4 grandparents.
You guys, speaking of holidays, should we do a Friendsgiving? Have it out at the house. We can have it at my house.
We should have a Friendsgiving.
We can cook.
But we should do a no gifts.
No. It's Thanksgiving. You don't give gifts anyway.
No, but we are going to do a Secret Santa on the show.
Do you get to pick who you give your?
No, you do a Secret Santa. You pick a name out of a hat, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Is there a rating, like a movie rating for what we keep our presents?
What?
Like PG.
No, you may, but no. Well, no, you just have to realize that they're going to be on the show.
Colby would be the one to ask that question.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah.
Well, I got to get the guidelines.
No, but you can do whatever, but they're going to have to be shown on the show.
And are we going to steal presents too? Like, is it the one where you like someone opens it and then someone can grab that present?
No. We're not doing the what do they call that? White elephant. Yeah,
No.
We're not doing that.
Oh, and then of course my 11th reason was the clothes cover your fat.
Yeah, well that was part of number 10, wasn't it?
But I was reading down the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's it.
All right, well, very good. I thought
reasons.
that was just wonderful. I thought that was really wonderful. Let's see. We got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to do today.
Why do you hate me so?
I don't hate you. We got a new feature here. Let's just do this. We'll do it like this. Colby, go ahead. Just go to camera 6, and let's show everybody. Look at this. So now if we want to watch videos, right? Like a YouTube video or something like that, we can always go and do that, but we don't have anything to watch here. But I'll just show you. Like we've got what's this? Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's your soundboard.
Yeah.
Faster!
Okay.
Faster!
I've never seen it.
Right. So this is how complicated it is. And, like Beth's like, oh, my top 10. And I'm like, okay, there we go. But now look, I'll show you. Let's see here. This is, I believe, the Cam page. All of this green is Cam.
That's fantastic.
Okay. So we got Cam hypothesis.
Now, this is just a hypothesis.
And this is, hypothesis.
Yeah, hypothesis.
I love that so much.
And what is this one? This is
Stronger Than Dirt.
Oh, that's the Doors. And then let's see.
Kathy.
Here's Matt Borders. Okay, making a little. Yeah, you know Matt Borders, don't you?
No, huh?
Oh, and then these. So I like color coordinate. I have to reorganize these because as new ones come on. Like here, I'll show you an example here. What is the name of it? I'll go to the gals here. Okay, so this is you guys. So
we're in pink.
Light pink is Veronica. Hot pink is Beth. And then
Bethany would be hot pink.
Yeah, and then you got General Hood.
All I need to do is roll rocks down on you.
So you see, I got all the sorts of things. So this is this color blue because it's like I don't even know what I was thinking there. Our buddy.
He stood as erect as I am now.
Okay, and then John Candy entrance. I don't know why, because it reminds me of John Candy.
It sounds like John Candy.
Yep.
Sounds like he's walking in.
This is Colby's favorite.
Oh,
that is my favorite.
Ooh.
I love it, dude. I love it because you sneak it in.
It's just called Ronnie Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. And then you have, why am I looking up there? I can read it better down here.
Zabawa?
Yeah, so Zabawa is...
Zabawa?
All right. And then here, look, we got some... So,
oh my God!
That's Beth. And...
What am I doing? What is the point to me?
I think that's the sound of dying.
I don't remember what that was.
What is the point to me, honestly? And then why am I screaming in
a
that
lot
other one?
at one moment?
Here's a classic.
Bullshit.
And
all of you love me.
Yeah, so so we got that there, and so whenever we have a video or something to watch, like for example, let's go over here now to this, and see that's the show there, but let's watch this one. All right, here we are on Crawford Avenue, and there's there we go. Lake Road. Why don't you just stop so that we can get a clear shot of this guy fly fishing?
Oh no!
In the lake. Don't like it. There he is. So,
look at the
saw some picnickers today, and a fly fisherman. All right, so there.
I don't know if they could see it. I think the green in the video is messing with the projection. Can you look at that?
The green in the video is messing with the projection.
Yeah, like watch.
All right, here we are on. No, that's the windshield.
All right, it just looks weird in here. I was just making sure it didn't look like that to them.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, because there's a green screen on it. All right, so we got to tweak that a little bit. We'll tweak that later. So, yeah, there is a problem with that. Sorry. All right, so anyway, that video had, last I checked on Facebook, like 45,000 views.
Wow.
And, like, that was, like, within 2 days, which is...
That's insanity.
Quite a bit. And I was very surprised to find that is not illegal, or verboten, which is the word I prefer to use in regards to this stuff.
Fly fishing?
Fly fishing in the park is not verboten. Yeah. I was surprised to find that out. You want to know why?
Why?
Because if you have a valid PA fishing license, you can fish in the park. Also, the park has no say over the waterways. Apparently that's state. And so you can go and do it.
But I've never seen anyone fish in any of the other, have you?
No, I did see people commenting saying, what's wrong with this? I've done it in Rock Creek all the time. Maybe you have, but like this, the difference is there's a spectacle when you do it in Lake Crawford, which is already a controversial part of the park. And
do you think that person, whoever that was, knew?
I don't think he gave a shit. I think he saw a lake on the battlefield, and said, hey, I'm going to go fly fishing. I think I don't know who it was, but so I could be wrong, but my guess is that he
pull over and talk to this person. I have so many questions.
I just didn't want to, I was just like, whatever. Wait, hold on. This is for Tom Canavan here.
As I recall it, emptied my
So so here's the thing. And Jason and I talked about this when he was on the show the other day. So of course you can go and watch that. Okay. I understand it's legal. We respect the state licenses, all that other stuff, right? But it's not illegal in the state of Pennsylvania to rollerblade or to skateboard or to picnic, right? And so there's a whole list of enjoyable, albeit recreational activities that you are not allowed to do in Gettysburg National Military Park. The answer I always heard was, well, we don't want this to look like a recreational park, right?
Uh-huh.
But then you let somebody go fly fishing. And now that there's a video of somebody fly fishing, people are going to be like, oh, I didn't know we could do that. I got my license. Let's go fishing. And I wonder if it gets to a point where you got like half a dozen guys around the shores of the mighty Lake Crawford fly fishing every Saturday or Sunday, is the park eventually going to say, okay, we have to do something about this. We have to either breach that dam and relocate the beavers and turn that back to the creek it's supposed to be, or do we now add to the compendium that you're not allowed to fish in the park? Because there's things that are legal, like, for example, hunting. You can get a hunting license in Pennsylvania and hunt in Pennsylvania, but you can't do it in Gettysburg National Military Park. So my point is there are things that are legal in Pennsylvania that they don't allow in the park. Mm-hmm. So they could do that.
And Jason said,
Matt, you're such an idiot. How did you get this show?
No, he didn't. Is the difference being the waterways are state?
Yes.
And the land is park. So
he
they can
says
administer the park, but they can't administer the waterway.
Right. And so my argument to that was...
You're rollerblading on park.
Correct. Yes. And so my argument was, well, okay, so you can't control what happens in the waterways. This guy was standing on the ground. And so you can regulate what happens on the ground. I can't fly a drone while standing in the middle of Pickett's Charge, but I can fly a drone over the park while I'm standing off federal property. That's the loophole of that law. So you're telling me...
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they can tell you what you can and can't be doing. Simple little remote control, right? I can't stand with a remote control within the boundaries of Gettysburg National Military Park and fly a drone. But I can do that across the street from that like barbecue place on Wheatfield Road, right? I could be on private property on the Tawnytown Road and fly it into the park. And that's highly not recommended, but it's totally legal to do. So the park can say, you can't stand on park ground and fish.
Can you rollerblade down Wheatfield Road?
Well, that's a state road, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you probably could make that argument. I doubt that would work if somebody stops you. You know?
Well,
but I think if it's a state road, I think you would be able to do that. See, the problem is when you try to control behavior too much, it becomes messy.
There's too many loopholes.
Well, there's too many loopholes, but there's also too many contradictions. And that's when you get into like unequal enforcement. What, Culp?
I don't understand what the big deal is with rollerblading in the park.
Well, you don't. I don't know.
On
I
the
mean,
street?
the knee jerk answer is always safety. Like I don't know what that means, but that's always the answer.
If they want to take the risk, let them. I mean, if they're confident enough,
I think it's more about the safety of other people. But also, I think that this is the problem. I think this is a sacred place, right? Whether you believe it or not, it's sacred to a lot of people. So you should have a little respect for that. It shouldn't be a recreational park. I don't want, and by the way, my argument about the drone is I don't want to be able to fly a drone in the park. I was up on Little Round Top a couple of weeks ago, and I got into a conversation with 2 or 3 guys. We were standing by the 44th New York, and I'm leaning on the railing. I have my back to the valley, and I hear, and I turn around, and there's this like drone hovering, looking at us. And I got to tell you something. I got like real Minority Report vibes off of that. You know the movie?
I remember it.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, like where like you really don't, I don't know. It's just because that's where law enforcement is heading in the future. So it just creeps me out. Anyway, I don't know who it is. I'm looking around. I can't see anybody standing there. I don't know where they are. I don't know who they are. I don't know what the hell they're doing with that thing. So I'm like saying to everybody, grab a rock. Let's start throwing rocks at it. But they paved over all the rocks, so I couldn't get a rock to throw. I wouldn't have done it anyway because I didn't want to hit anybody accidentally.
I could make a real nerd joke right
now. Go ahead,
but
do it. Nerd joke.
Well, not a joke so much as a soundbite. Like in Star Wars when the drones go by and they're like, Does anybody else know what I'm talking about?
Was that the joke?
Shut up! I hate you. You know what I mean? Like that. It could be like that.
Bethany, I just had to mess with you.
Why do you hate me so much?
I love you like a fat kid loves cake, but I just had to mess with you a little bit.
You know how never mind.
No.
Anybody listening who watches Star Wars a lot knows what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, no, we love it.
I can see you.
Huh? Oh, you can?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Well, anyway.
See you.
So I think it's an interesting thing, the whole fishing thing.
It is.
I don't. And by the way, I would like to believe, yeah, go ahead, fish, right? I believe in, what's that word? It's an F word. Freedom, right? I believe in that. And so, go and fish on federal public lands that you pay for with your tax dollars. I think you should be able to do that.
Right.
But I think you should also be able to do a whole bunch of other things that we're not allowed to do.
I agree with you. As far as the rollerblading and all that kind of as long as they're being respectful of
and that's the problem.
But if they're not, then they're kicked out of the park or whatever. That could be a place where maybe the park rangers, the law enforcement park rangers would step in, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you
shoot
have,
first, ask questions later.
Because being a combat vet, let's just say my buddies that I lost in Marja, we lost them here, and so it was even more. This place would be obviously even that much more special to me. I would never take offense from people enjoying the area, right? Like running, riding a bike, rollerblading, having their as long as it's they're not climbing up on, as long as they're not taking their skateboards up onto the rocks on Devil's Den and trying to do tricks off of it, or you know what I mean? I don't know. I would feel okay by that because honestly, one of my favorite things to do when my body's not broken is to go out and run the battlefield.
Yeah, you do. You like to do that. Why?
Because it's beautiful, man. And I'm out there. I don't know. I feel
beautiful in a car too.
I'm out there. I'm out there. I'm thinking about the battle. I'm thinking about I'm in pain, but it's not that bad. It could be worse. Yeah, I'm thinking about the stories and it's a nice place to do that. And it's a habit after the Marine Corps.
Were you ever in the Marines?
Kobe, baby. Were you ever in the Marines?
Oh, yes, I was, baby.
Oh.
Well, the audience never knew that.
Tell me what.
Now they're brought up to speed.
Mm-hmm. My.
Colby songs are what
low.
Yum, it's good.
Yeah, Colby songs are the best ones.
They are. So Kevin Levin, the renowned historian, played the video. He shared the video on his Substack. You know what Substack is?
Nope.
I don't either. But he's got one. And he put the video on there, put a link to it and everything like that. And then he had Jen Murray on his podcast, and they talked about that a little bit. And he said to Jen, he goes, "Are there even fish in there?" And she goes, "Well, I was talking to Matt, and now she's mixing up two different things here." She goes, and he says that he thought he saw trout. I couldn't tell a trout if I tripped over one. But I do know people who said that they saw somebody pull a bluegill out because he took a picture of it. Yeah. So they do have some fish in there. I said trout, and then I listed a whole bunch of bigger fish. I think I even threw grouper in there just to be absurd in a Facebook comment.
Yeah.
So I would, Jen, I wasn't serious there, but whatever. It was nice that the first 10 or 15 minutes addressing Gettysburg was kind of
making something go viral.
Besides strep, which isn't a virus, it's a bacteria, I believe. So that's why antibiotics work with strep. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a show for you today. My God, listen, you all know the saga that is Cindy and myself trying to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just horrendous. But there has been a saintly person who has... Well, in the sense that he has been sent down from the good Lord above.
Wait, not sure. What happened to your hair? It's straight up in the front now, dude.
Yeah, brah, what?
brah, you look like you were going 50 miles an hour on a motorcycle.
Yeah, brah, what's up, brah?
That's how you lost it to begin with. You pull it out.
I when I played that clip here, which I of course muted the laptop.
He stood as erect as I am now.
Made me think of my buddy, and he had hair that was beautiful and flowing and wild like this, and so I pulled it out.
It was not like that.
That guy was always at speed.
It was. This is a wig, so obviously it looks stupid, but he had it. It looked good.
It did. It looked. For some people that does work.
It worked for him.
It did for him. He stuck his head out the car window on the way in, and It just works.
Yeah, but if you looked closely, it was on purpose.
It was
like because there were he had it,
placed.
and he moved everything, and and then the front was all so he could do this and everything like that, and good for him. Good for him. Lucky him. Lucky him. Lucky him. He had his hair.
And then I have this.
And then Bethany's got long hair that she can pull and wave around at everybody. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Our guest today is the guy who has kept us sane through this insane time. We're not going to get into all the details of the moving and the house hunting. That's not what we're here for. I said he's been on the show before, but I think a lot of you need to really get to know him a little better, especially if you're the type that are looking to move here. You got to find a place. And this is the guy who sorry, Mike. This is the guy.
His name's not Mike, though.
Yes, it is. Michael Crafone. This is the guy that you need to enlist to be your agent because he'll fight for you. I'm not even kidding. He will fight. He literally got a black eye for us. For me and Cindy.
What's the other guy?
He got into a bar fight.
What's the other guy?
Well, that's the funny thing. He got into, when I say he got into a bar fight, I mean he got into a fight with a bar. Like literally, there was this bar sticking out, and he walked into it, and the bar won. But he was willing to do that for us retroactively. So anyway, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with Chris Morano, and we're going to find out that question that we've all been wondering: is Morano Italian for moron? And we will find out when he gets back after these words. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Very quick break.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too.
Ooh.
We'll be right back.
You sexist bitch.
The Gettysburg Museum of History, located right here in the center of Gettysburg, PA. Owner and curator Eric Dorr grew up here and has spent his life collecting and preserving history through artifacts ranging from the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg, World War II, presidential items, pop culture, and more. His museum is free and open to visitors Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m., where you can stop by and immerse yourself in some of the most amazing artifacts that you would never believe exist in the middle of Gettysburg. If you're a fan of Band of Brothers and Everything Easy Company, you'll love his exhibit featuring the Dick Winters collection and artifacts from D-Day. You can even own your own piece of history by buying one of the many relics they have for sale in the museum and on the website GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com. The Gettysburg Museum of History is a non-profit 501c3 organization with a foundation that allows all purchases and donations to keep the museum operating and open free of charge. They have been featured on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Smithsonian Channel, and the Science Channel. Now you can check them out on American Artifact, the series on the YouTube channel, The History Underground. So that's the Gettysburg Museum of History at 219 Baltimore Street or the GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com.
Gettysburg's first and premier podcast about living in and visiting Gettysburg has returned from that long commercial break. Thanks for sticking around. Here's Matt.
You're from Boston, Christopher.
Yeah.
You got to pull that mic right to you.
Right to me.
This guy is a musician with a recording studio. He knows how to do everything, and he's sitting 5 feet away from the microphone.
Well, I thought it was one of those, omnis.
Omniscience? No, it's neither that nor the other. Chris is a Bostonian who moved here to Gettysburg because, well, like so many of us, he fell in love with the place. He loves the history, he loves the place, and then he moved down here and then got into real estate here. Now you were in real estate before you moved here. You have to point the microphone at your mouth. Jesus, Harold.
I am right here.
Okay, point the microphone at your mouth. There you go. It's the end address. Thank you. All right, now we're better. Where was I?
Yes,
were you?
I moved here.
Yeah, were you? Yeah, so you moved here. What year did you move here?
2018.
2018. Okay.
Not that long ago.
No,
not.
I thought you'd been here way longer.
Same year as I did.
2 years were COVID years, so they just, it seems like a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
But it wasn't a short amount of time.
No, it's been 6 years now.
Yeah. And so you you were a realtor though before you came here, right?
I was, yes.
Okay.
In New York.
In New
And
York.
Boston too.
And you, I'm sorry, I'm very distracted here because I don't understand why that
It's all,
microphone
like,
always
pretty
sounds like you're
lights.
25 miles away. Okay.
How's that better?
That's better.
All
There you
right.
go. Now you're showing what you know.
Well, all right.
All right. Why'd you move here, Chris?
I'll give you the short.
Please do. We're
Life,
hungry.
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Literally those things.
So you moved to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah. Because,
ironic.
Yeah. The traffic, the hustle and the bustle,
Gotcha.
But it's even more than that. I had the ocean as my front yard for years.
Really?
Years. The ocean was literally, you see my house, so as close as East Calvary Battlefield is now to where I live, the Atlantic Ocean was my front yard.
Yeah, all right. So that's close.
It's very, very right on top
like
of the
a mile?
ocean. Not even, no.
No?
No, like
half
200
a mile?
yards.
200
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah.
200 yards.
We're going to have a Boston talking.
Yeah. We're going to give you
clip here in a
a
minute.
Boston to English dictionary.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass
Okay.
those out next time.
Right.
But yeah, as close as I am to the battlefield now, which is literally about 200 yards. As well.
Yards.
The ocean was also as close. So I had the ocean all those years, but the rolling hills of Pennsylvania and the orchards and everything. It's just it's my ocean.
This part though, Adams County, is it is something special because I've been all over Pennsylvania. You're from Clarion, and
Thanks.
You're
Yep.
welcome.
Mhm.
Where the cassettes were made.
Where the call is from.
Oh, okay.
And
remember those cheap cassettes, the Clarions?
No, I don't think I do.
They came in a package of 5, and they were like 25
Were they
cents each.
tan?
They were like orange with swirls in them.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I remember
nothing
those.
that
I remember
interesting
those. I
has been
remember
made in
those.
Clarion.
Remember those?
Yes,
We'd
I
stick
do.
them in the boxes.
They wouldn't last very long.
No.
So, okay, so yeah, but like I've been all over Pennsylvania for the most part, and
Can't get over the hair. It's just, I'm sorry. Go ahead, though.
What's wrong with the
I'll
hair?
take you seriously.
I think it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
While it is beautiful, it's not the same as here. Wherever you go in PA, Poconos,
Right.
other mountains, the Pittsburgh area. There's beautiful things about all these places, but it's not the same.
It doesn't
as here.
rise up to home.
You literally talk about this all the time about how you don't want people moving here and you don't want people to ruin it, and then you talk about how amazing it is. You need to
I know that, but here's the thing. I can't stop a tidal wave. And I was driving in on 30, and there's, first of all, the construction of what used to be Camp Letterman, is rolling along.
Yeah, it is.
And then I see a billboard for some, new condos or something that I don't recognize the picture. I don't recognize the facade of the condos that it's showing. So I'm like, well, that must be something new that they're doing, pre-build sales on. And so I'm like, this is why I'm looking to the west. Number one. Number two,
Towards Clarion.
Towards Clarion. Not that far west.
Up on a hill.
No further than the mountain. I'm not going over the mountains. And then that is
You
that
got
is
something
there's
against the mountains?
I don't want to get further than the mountains. I don't like what's past the mountains.
You want to be out towards me.
I want to I want to be out in that area there,
No,
or
you
Tana.
I honestly think. I mean, I don't.
I know that's so funny. Allegedly.
He
honestly thinks.
I
Go
honestly think that my neighbor, the one we've talked about, will be selling that house soon.
Well, hopefully, this house that we got under contract now will go through. But I always have my doubts. So hurry up and get a hold of that lady.
I haven't seen her in a long time. I don't think she's been around.
Maybe she's passed on.
I'll give you my card.
There you go. Give her a card. Just slide it under the door. But anyway, so no, it is a beautiful area though, like compared to other parts of Pennsylvania, and even just going over the line in Maryland, same landscape, not quite the same though, not quite the same.
No,
and it's something nice. All right, so you move here, start getting into real estate, but you're also a music teacher, and you're number 14 of Bethany's boyfriends. You didn't know that? She loves your sparkling eyes.
I'm number 13.
I'm rising.
Right.
Is that
you're rising? Yeah, you're getting there.
You are pretty hot.
Whoa! A love connection.
Listen,
just saying.
that's
Bethany, Beth is like...
That's the most confident I've ever seen you, I
Yeah,
think.
she's like, you're hot to trot, man.
All
like,
she got to do is be talking to a guy she likes.
I've seen his picture on his business card, man. I took that home. I showed it to Mom, too.
Oh, my God.
Really?
like,
I'm hearing
Mom,
snorts.
Look
That
at
was
this
me.
guy.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me snorting.
Yeah.
So you've got a big crush on him, and we've always known this. But you,
Kept it
clearly,
secret.
yeah. Like, does Mark know this? Do you tell? Because
Oh,
you
yeah,
have crushes on like a lot of men
All
around
the time.
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Where do I
Does he- is
stand
he-
between me and Scott Hardwick? Where do I?
oh no, Scott's
He's
all
up
the way
there.
at the top, right?
He's
I don't
Scotty
know.
the
Who's
hottie.
number
they
one?
call him.
He's
Who's
hot.
number one?
Mark, of course.
No, I mean you cannot with no, like excluding your husband.
Right.
Oh.
I would ask you who number 2 is, but everybody knows the answer to that.
What?
It's poop.
Oh my God, Colby! 2 weeks in a row with this scatological humor.
You liked it. I see you. I see your face.
I'm hearing cackling like even in the back.
I know. Yeah.
All right. So who's your number 1, Bethany?
I had to have to.
No, come on, you got it.
it. They're not graded. I just love people.
You do. You have a crush on Ralph.
I have a crush on everybody.
You don't really have a type.
No.
It's any and all walks of life, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
You go from Ralph Siegel to Chris is a huge jump.
It's really. Are they adorable? It's more of an adorableness.
So you're more of a
factor.
personality person.
Yes.
But with Chris, he's
not
hot.
a personality.
No.
No, you are very sweet.
Oh.
You're very sweet.
Chris is a sweet guy,
I
we
wouldn't say that.
keep
I
telling
don't
him.
say
I don't
that
know. You
lightly.
seemed more confident when you said he was hot.
Well,
I
he
think
is
I'm going to
hot.
stick with your original answer.
Okay.
Speaking of hot, how
and
about
sweet.
this?
I'm like a
You're a sweetheart.
Chinese buffet.
You are like a Chinese buffet.
Hot, sweet.
Yeah, and
You're like a spicy General Sour.
a variety of
Sour.
personalities
I
to
can be
choose
a little
from.
sour. We know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you really, I have to tell you, folks, that you really, if you want a realtor to go to bat for you, this is the guy here. I mean, really, it's not been fun. And, they always say that buying a house is not fun. I've always heard people say that. And I go, what could be not fun about that? You get to look at other houses.
Now you know.
Now I know. It is miserable.
Yeah. You're catching something that's
Unique.
even the normal buyers are not used to getting.
Right. No. We're getting bullied, I would say, is the answer. And so, but you don't have to answer that. Of course, I don't want you to get yourself in trouble or anything. So I will say that. But yeah.
Hair,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
But no. So, but you tell us about the music though, because you write music and you record music as well.
I do, and that's been on the back burner a little bit. Now I've been teaching for a long time, years and years and years. But one of the things that recently I've done is just take on more students. And so I'm up in Carlisle, and I teach at a music store called JW Music.
Okay.
Give them a quick plug there. And they've had me teach there, and they're adding students just at a really crazy pace.
Mm-hmm.
So my Wednesdays got all filled up all the way till about 8 o'clock at night.
Oh,
and now
my.
my Tuesdays are also getting that way too.
Now, is it because of your eyes? Is that what it is?
It
They're
is.
all falling in love
He
with
has
your eyes.
beautiful eyes.
All the mothers have crushes on Chris, and they want their kids to learn music, right?
What
it's,
do you
it's
teach?
weird.
It is
weird.
It is weird. I don't get it.
That's weird. Yeah, right. No, I teach guitar.
Guitar.
And bass and songwriting and music theory, and I'll even like I said, songwriting, music theory, guitar, vocal lessons, all of it. Yeah, songwriting. I like rather than teaching kids how to play Van Halen or something, it's all about teaching them how to be a songwriter, because they'll take those skills into life, and they'll forget how to play Eruption 2 days later. Whereas I find that the skills of like teaching music theory will give will give them the skills to say, hey, I like poetry. Hey, I like playing acoustic guitar, and I know some great chords. Why don't I put the two together to write songs? That's more plausible than thinking I'm going to be the next Eddie Van Halen, right? I mean, so that's been my theory with people all along. Even though I could spend time, like I have, one student who wants to do that, Van Halen kind of stuff and all that. So I use that as an example because it's the opposite of where I'd like to go for him. You know, it's like, hey, I could teach you how to do this, and we could spend the whole time doing that. But don't you want to know what's underneath it? What he thinks about when he's playing this, for example, rather than just connecting the dots and tracing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So,
I found like it's one thing to like a band or an artist and learn how to play their song, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you learn the theory behind their song and what they're actually doing there, it to me it made it easier to write songs.
Makes it easier.
Right? Because now you understand that like there's like what 7 songs that have ever been written, and everything else is just a regurgitation of those songs or a rearrangement of those songs.
A regurgitation
of
Bach.
Of Bach.
I love Bach.
Well,
I
yes,
do. And I study Bach, and I love him so much. And
what about Haydn?
I like Haydn a lot. Haydn's a cool cat. Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, I love, okay, so Miles Davis, I'm wearing a shirt of his.
Right,
today,
I see
just
that.
ironically enough. But he went to his band members once, and he said, man, you got to play that Bach. You got to play that Bach, man. And then you got to swing it, man. And so that's what you do. You get Bach underneath your fingernails, and then you swing it, and then you are a jazz player.
Right.
It's really incredible.
What do you say to students that maybe don't know how to play an instrument and are not very musically inclined?
There it is. Swing, daddy, swing. I say start simple. What is it? The music. What is the music that you listen to that inspires you first of all?
Mm-hmm.
And then they tell me that, and I'm like, okay, I could show you chords that'll inspire you as well.
I say take up basketball.
Yeah.
What if they're also not sports inclined?
Then I say take up reading. Or what is that you do, Debbie? With the thing that your zipper made a noise on? Cross stitch. Take up cross stitch.
I am good at cross stitch.
She's a wizard back there.
There you go. And you're not good at music or basketball, so that's perfect.
Last time I played basketball, I broke both my arms at the same time.
Bethany, if you want to learn an instrument.
Really? For real? Mm-hmm. For real?
Yeah, for real.
Both
you broke both?
She's like Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's Debbie's zipper.
Bethany, if you want to learn an instrument, you just got to spend time on it. Really, I mean, that's the big thing. Is people trying to learn a new instrument?
Colby, she doesn't want to learn an instrument.
I do want to learn an instrument.
No,
well,
she doesn't want to.
You kind of need to
practice.
You need to be obsessed with it a little bit.
It's a nightmare. You'll hate it. Don't even bother.
But if you get it, you'll love it. It's like speaking a different language.
Well, that's what I always tell my students. It's like, you're coming to me for a language. I always use that.
I'm horrible at that too. So.
Well, that's true. It is a new language. That's why it's best if you can do it as a little kid. It's harder to do as an adult, to learn it as an adult.
It depends on everybody.
Yeah.
Literally. It's so individual.
True. We're all different.
Yeah.
Speaking of language.
Oh, jeez.
Say these words.
Oh, here we go. Draw, coffee, and stairs.
Coffee.
Stairs.
I say coffee.
No, say it again.
Coffee.
No.
Draw.
All right. Let me show the audience.
Is that
here.
drawer? Is that what you're saying?
Drawer.
Okay. So look here.
Yeah, you guys would say drawer.
Go ahead. Wait.
Drawer.
There we go.
It's a drawer.
So say them.
Draw.
Draw.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Stairs is my favorite. I like
stairs.
Stairs.
It's quick though. Just stairs.
Stairs.
So
there you go.
Drawer.
Drawer.
Drawer. Right. We say drawer. Open the drawer.
They say draw.
And you say draw.
Now,
coffee.
How about here's a better word that, like, when I say it, sometimes people look at me like, huh? Because in real estate, you come across these things. The word parlor.
Parlor.
Parlor, right?
Yeah.
It's a parlor.
Parlor.
Right? I'm like, hey, that's a beautiful parlor.
Yeah.
They're like, how's a parlor?
Well, how about
parlor? Sorry.
Foyer?
A foyer.
You say foyer?
I do. I don't say foyer. What do you like?
I do both.
Do you?
I do both. Foyer. I go foyer.
Foyer.
Yeah.
Foyer.
Yes. I left my coat in the foyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Never said that.
Or foyer.
Yeah, foyer.
It depends on the audience.
But it would be a foyer.
If I'm talking to somebody who's more educated than me, it's a foyer. And then
foyer sounds like you should be 50 cal, you know? Foyer from the hood, 50 calorie. Like 50 cents.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Was that the joke?
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was my joke.
Was that the
and
joke, Colby?
You laughed at it.
Yeah,
in all
she
fairness.
laughed. She laughed.
I didn't laugh at the joke. I
been-
laughed at Matt's reaction to the joke.
You bent double from laughing at the joke.
I didn't laugh at the joke. I laughed at Matt's reaction to the joke.
You need a disco ball in here.
I know.
Well, what is this
What
big
is
thing
that?
you got?
This thing?
What do you call that?
Here, hold on. Let me give us a little.
Not a disco ball. That's a
Look at
China
this thing.
China. What do they call it? A China bulb or a Japanese
doesn't-
lantern or something?
It
China
doesn't
globe.
do it justice in that shot.
No, it actually looks smaller in that shot, but it's enormous. It's about the size of.
Are we still talking about? Are we still talking about this light?
Mary Mother.
Well, you wait to say that after I say what it's the size of, Colby.
Is it 3 inches?
Colby gets an idea and he just like throws it out there before the bit has worked out. Anyway, Chris, I'm sorry. This is so rude. We're taking up your precious time here.
Yeah, come on. I got stuff to do.
Yeah. Okay. So listen. Oh, wait. What's this?
I haven't heard that one in a minute.
Okay. So the music though is so you're doing your music, you're doing the real estate and everything like that. Now when people there's a lot of people in this audience who dream of moving here. What would the first piece? First piece of advice would be
save your money.
No. The first piece of advice would be get Chris to be your agent.
Of course.
Okay. Second piece of advice that you would give people would be save your money.
Continually save your money while you're looking. Yeah.
Yes.
Put your money away don't take that vacation anymore.
Right. You don't need it.
Don't need it. I used to spend a lot of money, and this is probably the same for people that have moved here over the years, but I used to spend all my vacation time, even when I worked on the railroad, I would spend all my vacation time in Gettysburg. So all my vacation money would come to Gettysburg, Gettysburg, all that. So I would say instead of taking that vacation to Gettysburg and spending all that money while you're looking at houses, save it.
Yeah.
That's the best because
but how are they going to look at a house from a distance if they're not coming to Gettysburg?
I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
So what I used to do was, and the market has changed quite a bit. So I used to come and I would take a vacation every few months when a certain amount of houses that came on the market that I was interested in were on the market. And I'd say, look, I'm going to set up a couple of days in a hotel room and I'm going to see 6 houses. And I used to do that every single time, every time. And so I would say if you're going to, and what I mean save your money and don't spend it on a vacation to Gettysburg, you can do a vacation to Gettysburg inexpensively. I mean, you come on an off day like a Tuesday, Wednesday, and you go to a hotel here, and you're not spending the kind of money you would during Remembrance Day weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
That kind of thing. Do those kinds of things and be smart about how you spend your money here and when you spend it. Come on a Tuesday or Wednesday, go for a tour with me. We'll go out and look at a bunch of houses. But
what are some of the pitfalls that it might maybe they're not unique to Gettysburg, but that maybe say for us like a first time home buyer wouldn't anticipate? I'll give you a couple of
closing costs.
Oh yes,
yeah,
okay.
That's a
biatch. That's a pitfall because people don't realize that they're like, okay, well the house is $200,000, but you're
actually paying more than that.
$15,000 in closing costs, pal. And then you try to what? So you have to. That's why I said that comes into the save your money while you're looking thing that I'm talking about.
Maybe start saving your money before you start looking.
Oh, well, 100% you should.
Well, not everybody can or does, but
But keep it realistic,
right?
One of the things I did that I was very proud of myself for, instead of going to the bank and saying, how much can I spend? I went to them and said, this is what I want to spend a month.
Yeah.
And they went
into it.
So you did it backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was so worried that it would
you'd be house poor.
I'd be house poor, and I would get my heart set on a house.
And then not be
realize,
able to afford it.
Yeah.
You're chasing it every month.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck or month to month. And I get that. It's important to budget yourself and your lifestyle and your living. It is. The other pitfalls. Having a sense of what you're willing to fix in a house.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great one.
right?
Yes.
Because anyone can replace a water heater. You're going to call the guy. The water heater is going to come in, right? But the porch is decrepit, right? The porch and the deck needs fixing. Are you going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Is your contractor buddy going to do that? Are you know what I mean? Are you savvy enough to do that yourself? You're going to save money by doing it yourself, or you're going to pay the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes, and those kinds of things, finishing a basement, they're expensive. It's, and now materials have gone up through the roof, as we all know. So I would say that those are the kinds of things, like when people look at a house, and for example, we saw a house right on Baltimore Pike, and it needed a new kitchen. Man, this kitchen was outdated. And I looked at it and I said, you put in a new kitchen in this house, and it's the value of this house goes up about $40,000. That's how old that kitchen was.
Wow.
But are you going to do that work,
Mm-hmm.
or are you going to pay the guy? Because it's double if you're paying the guy. Double it.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of pitfalls that people don't look at. They're like, oh, well, I went to Home Depot and I saw a prefabbed kitchen.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's so. That's another pitfall.
How about things? Because this is something that we've been discussing in our summer-long journey here. Is the price of houses. COVID screwed up the whole market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so people were selling their houses for ridiculous amounts of money
with low interest rates.
With low interest rates, yeah, and
sight unseen.
Sight unseen.
No home inspections.
No inspections. And that's, I guess, changing now. That's starting to normalize. I don't know. Would you say it's going back to a buyer's market, or would you say it's just starting to go to the middle of the road now?
I would say it's starting to go to the middle of the road.
You got to go to the middle first,
More
I
of a
guess.
normalcy to
Right.
it. I mean, home inspectors were like, they were leaving their job. I mean, you didn't even have them for a while there. And now that's all coming back. That's normalizing things.
Right.
Because it's saying, something comes up. Okay, we need a seller's credit. A seller's credit? God, I haven't seen a seller's credit in like 3 years.
Now, what's the seller's credit?
Seller's credit, there's a mold issue. And
so in other words, they're gonna take it off the sale price,
and they're gonna give you a credit to take care of that at closing.
Okay.
During COVID years, those kinds of things weren't even happening.
Yeah.
People were buying the houses without even knowing there was
It's
a mold
obnoxious.
issue. It was a truly in the sense a seller's market.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, like
probably more than ever. Right?
More than ever that I could
at least
ever
in our
remember.
lifetimes.
More than I could ever remember.
So one of the things that has just boggled our minds is after the first house fell through, we started looking again. And the first 3 houses we looked at had no kitchen. Well, I'm sorry. They had a kitchen, but they didn't have the 2 things you need for a kitchen. An oven / stove or a refrigerator. One of them had room for only one or the other, but not both.
Yeah.
And here's what's driving me nuts. It's almost, it kind of actually insults me when I go into a house and they're asking $380, $400, something like that, right? And you go into the house and everything at first glance is brand new. New paint, new floor, new cabinets, new turlet, new vanity, new all this, right? But then you look closely and it's that Lowe's prefabbed kitchen or Lowe's prefab bathroom. And the floor is that stuff that's made to look like wood.
Laminate.
It's laminate, yeah. And and it's like, okay, that's
lipstick on a pig.
It's lipstick on a pig. You're and like this one house in particular was up in the mountains, right out in the Fairfield area. Nice, quiet little dell, a little valley in the mountain there. And it was, you can tell, it was built as a vacation home. There's no storage whatsoever. This is a home that you do not occupy all year long. You summer there, you bring what you need, you put it in the closets, and then you go, right? Now they're trying to sell it for $400,000.
Oh, my.
Or it was $380. I think it was $380. something like that, right?
You're talking about the A-frame one?
No, no, the one. It was the 2 floor. It didn't have the stove or the refrigerator.
Oh, that one.
And we were standing there going, "How do you not have a stove or refrigerator?"
That one was unique. Terrible. I mean, I went back to, you have to remember, after every house that we see, I don't know if you know this, I may have mentioned this once before, but every house, and we've seen almost 50 properties together.
Have we really?
46.
Are you
46
kidding me?
properties.
Cindy, did you know that? Oh, it's way more than I thought.
He's got to do paperwork every single
And you know
Yeah.
what's go ahead.
So what I was going to say is that I have to give comments on every single property that we've looked at. They want feedback, okay?
So what do they all start with? What are you, nuts?
Some of them have gotten very interesting. You know what the other thing was? We mentioned this one. We were going to a house that we saw, and you wanted to talk to Cindy about it. I said, I had to leave the comments, man, on this one because I couldn't hold back. And I told him, I said, basically, are you nuts?
What were the comments?
You're out. You're way out of bounds with the price you're asking.
Which one was this?
The one that was near the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And it was a hodgepodge.
Down south of town.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a hodgepodge. Remember, every room needed something. Remember, every single room was like unfinished.
No, wait, the place that was right next to the cornfield?
No, the place that was across the street.
Is this the one that had the
from the
white out?
It was a huge house.
Oh, that wasn't south of town. That's west of town. That's out in Ortana.
Towards Ortana, but it had to get it.
No, it was Ortana. No, I know it was right on Carroll's. No, it wasn't Carroll's Tract. Yeah, it was Carroll's Tract Road.
Carroll's Tract Road.
It was
we're getting too.
No, we're not going to say the name.
Right.
But it sold.
Yeah,
but
it sold at less than
because you said you need to knock like 50 grand off or something like that, and they knocked 20 off and it sold.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, is like it would have been great, except every room. It was like they started a project and then said, "Nah, let's not do that. Let's move into this room and do something else." And so, like in the living room, I remember they like cut the drywall in the shape of a door, and then realized, oh, the shower's on the other side, or I don't know what they did, but they just stopped. And so now they just put a couch up against it, and it's like you got insulation in your face. That's the thing that really boggles my mind. And I have to say, thank God for the parents that I had, because people do not take care of their homes. And I don't understand it. They say it's the biggest investment you'll ever make, and these places are falling apart.
Now, with a house like that, it's a perfect example of what we were talking about. That would be a contractor's dream. A guy that is, or a team that is savvy enough to go, good shell, terrible layout.
Right.
Terrible layout.
Awful layout.
We are going to take these walls down. We're going to turn this into a...
Flip it.
Right.
Yeah.
They put an addition on the back of the house.
That was like...
And they
it looked
spray
like,
painted the window over the kitchen sink.
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, so there are things that we've run into that are very interesting like that, especially when you see that many properties. But like that one right there, that is a contractor's dream right there. That would be a money pit for him.
Yes.
But a contractor's dream where they could just have that square footage.
But it was on 3 acres.
Yeah. And
it was across from a golf course, and nobody's building any houses there anytime soon. And it was otherwise a perfect place, like Colby, like out by Colby, like, you know, that area is so beautiful out there.
I love it. I love living out there.
How could you not? It's like living in a little slice of heaven.
There are houses that I've seen that I'm like, oh man, if I could just pick this house up and put it on a different piece of property.
We had about 60 properties that we looked at like that.
Yeah.
There was one in Littlestown that was completely redone inside, right? Like everything was brand new. It was probably built, what would you say, 1890s, 1900s? Like
early 1900s.
Yeah, early 1900s, old brick house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was on a busy road. And I remember when we looked at the listing online first, Cindy showed me an aerial photo of it. And she's like, look, there's a farm behind it. And I'm like, in Littlestown, that is a neighborhood waiting to happen. And then we pull up and guess what they're building? A neighborhood, right? So already I don't want the place. But we go in and I'm like, man, this is great. The kitchen was great. Everything was just really nice and well done. And I remember afterwards, Chris said, you know, okay, this house or the house in Ortana that you liked that we put an offer in and it didn't work, you know, and I said, take this house and put it on the Ortana property and I'm happy. And that's the problem. It's like, it's perfect here except for that. So you got to move, but this is perfect except for that. And if you could only move them, but that would be just too expensive. You can't go around doing that.
Yeah, very rarely do you come across one where you're like, oh, this is everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be willing to pay an
or the only way you could do that is if you had the money to just build the house the way you want it.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing too about that particular one in Littlestown is it's the kind of house you see in Gettysburg around, like
absolutely
outside looking, but then inside, no. When you go into those houses in Gettysburg, they're like they have all 50s, kitchens and low ceilings. Where that one, they literally gutted this and made it modern.
Yes.
And it's funny how at least they're not for sale in Gettysburg anyway.
Right. No, they're still living in them. They modernize them and they're living in them.
But those kinds of opportunities. And so we looked at that and said, that's another thing you look at. If that opportunity were in Gettysburg, it would be a lot more money because it's in Gettysburg, that kind of thing too. So,
What, okay, so, but this is Gettysburg a tough nut to crack if you want to move here? Because I know people who've been trying to move here, and it was, house after house, we almost have it.
Low inventory town.
Low inventory, but everybody wants to get here.
It's a unique situation. Yeah.
I'm really getting sick of the word unique.
Oh, yeah, right? No, he's had it with unique. Him and me both.
Because when we couldn't get the appraisal on the first house, they kept going, it's a unique property. We can't do it's a unique property.
Yeah.
I wanted to take unique and shove it up there. So
unique ass.
Yeah, they're unique asses. So would you recommend, this is what I recommend people do when they want to move here. Because everybody wants to live in Gettysburg, right?
Well, they want that Gettysburg address.
Right.
They do.
Move to Bonneville.
But you want, no, they want to live in the town of Gettysburg.
Right.
Because
I live in Bonneville and my address is Gettysburg.
No, but they want to live in the town of Gettysburg, within the borough limits is what I'm saying.
Dumb.
I think I know the question that's coming.
Well, okay, so what is it? See if you know.
So what would you do?
Like
the question is
Disney villain.
do you recommend, I say recommend anything in a 20-minute circumference of Gettysburg.
No, that wasn't my question.
Oh. See,
would you recommend that if someone really, because you know how it is when you get something in your blood, right? We love Gettysburg. We get this idea. I don't know about you, but I wanted to live in town because when I visited, I always stayed in town. So my connection, my memories, my good feelings were towards town.
Yeah,
and so I moved in town and I lived in town, and there, it was great for a while.
Yeah.
And then finally I was like, I want wide open spaces. I want more. There's more to the world. I don't want to be confined to a town. There's people. They smell. No, they don't smell. But there's people around, and I don't want people around. I want to be able to, just relax
Stretch
and
out.
quiet and stretch out naked. And so town is not the place to do that. But I rented. I did not buy in town. And then I knew people who owned in town, and they're like, I wish I had never bought in town because I have to deal with the borough and all of their insanity and all that stuff. And so I'm glad I didn't, based on what they went through. And I don't know if the borough is still that way. This is a while ago. I'm sure it hasn't changed much. My point is, you got to get that out of your system. Rent in town. Get a feel for the area. Get a feel for what it's like out in Ortana or Barlow 2 Taverns or where do I live? Straban Township, or like all these surrounding areas. See what it's like. Go out, drive around. See if you could picture yourself living there eventually.
Well,
and then when you do, and you're ready to buy, keep saving to buy.
But you're looking in a town like Cashtown or New Oxford, and you find that little so. It does kind of pertain to what we were saying. Like, you don't mind driving 15 minutes down the road to get to town if you can stretch out and have that kind of space. And, there are unique opportunities out there when you get out of town.
Yeah, there are. And but it's also like, just imagine living in town.
City people love it even more. That's maybe city people, but people that aren't used to having that kind of space, that's what they end up loving about here too. They don't. In a way, they start to resent being in town too, because they're the first ones to complain. Oh, the neighbors, they're driving me crazy. They're bikers. They're playing Slayer at 2 a.m.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, you don't in a town, you don't know who your neighbors are going to be.
Right.
You know, you don't know who they're going to be in the country, but at
don't want
least you
that.
could put some distance between you.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Yeah,
Well-
it could be Chris, right?
And you don't want me as neighbor.
No, but so that is the thing about living outside of town is
nice.
that it's nice. And I'm not talking in these not prefab, but these cookie cutter neighborhoods. I'm talking like out in the, you know, like the areas that haven't been built in, say they're at least 25 years old, if not more, right? Those areas, they're nice. They're quiet. That brewery that we went to, right? And we were all excited because it was
Thirsty
like,
Farmer.
yeah, Thirsty Farmer.
Yeah.
It was 3 miles from the house we were going to buy, and it was a few miles from Colby and his wife Tay Tay, and we're like, we can meet them out here, you know, and we could still do it if we get the place that we're getting. But you know, the place that we're getting now, that we hopefully are getting now, would be Fairfield, and that's a great little town. There's some good restaurants there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just the thing is like you got to go grocery shopping. You're not
Here.
going to Fairfield. You got to come out here.
Right.
You know, you want to go to Sam's Club or something, you got to go to Hanover. So you're a little further away from things, but it's a better quality of life.
That leads to your point, though.
That's
if you
right.
rent here, you can kind of figure out where all those things
Yeah.
are. Do you know how many towns you've ever driven through in your life where you go, where do these people shop?
Yes. Or where do these people work?
Yeah, like there's nothing here. Where do they go?
Well, and that's the thing.
If
And
they need
Cindy, you
milk.
can comment on this, of course. If when she would show me a listing that she found on Realtor.com or something like that, I'd look at it and I'd look at the address. I'm like, oh no, you don't want to go there. And like, I would just whole cloth. I would just be like, no, you don't want to, because I rented and I traveled around and I know people who live in different places, and so I would go and see everything. And it probably wasn't so fun for her because she liked the look of the house, and I would too. But I'm like, I just couldn't wake up every day in Bonneville knowing that Bethany is so close. You know, something like that.
So mean. Is he like this to you all the time?
All the time.
Never. That was
See, here's the
first
problem.
mean thing I ever said to you.
You are full of it.
It's true.
I just hate you, and I hate your ass face.
Bethany, don't say that to me.
It like
Good comeback.
it's the constant belittling that I deal with.
Oh, please.
That
Dybbuk
it's
schmibbick. I said more ham.
Anyway, we like to bust balls. So
0.0.
Yeah, right.
okay,
So
so
some of those towns have interesting qualities about them, good and bad. You have to weigh those things out.
Yeah.
You have to. How far is it to Gettysburg? How far is it to go shopping? There was one time I was showing a place out in Fairfield of all places, and then they said, "Well, where's the nearest shopping center?" I was like, "Shopping center." Like
Senna.
shopping
Senna.
Shopping center. I don't even have them out here.
Yeah, really.
Like so, there are different.
Hanover. The answer is always Hanover or Chambersburg or
Yeah.
Frederick.
Frederick.
Yeah.
When you're as close to where I am,
Yeah.
Frederick is a good option. And I like Frederick more and more and more every time I go.
Yeah. Why?
And there are parts of Hanover that I even like more and more and more too. Believe it or not. I
What,
know.
for shopping or for
No,
living?
There are parts of Hanover I've run into where I'm like, oh, this is nice. This
Really?
is cool. Yeah, yeah. And I like the Hanover markets.
The markets in Hanover.
Yes, the markets in Hanover. Big plug for Susie's Mexican in Hanover markets over there. Yeah,
Do you know who owns that?
Susie?
Susie.
No, the markets at Hanover.
Who does?
No. Who? Mr. and Mrs.
I'll tell
Market?
you later.
Oh, okay. Is it somebody I know?
Someone we should know?
I know somebody who owns the markets of Hanover.
Really?
I know them, or
You
I've
know
met
them,
them.
Dang.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
How do I not know this?
Mm-hmm.
Spell it out for me.
I will when we're not.
No.
Because
the
I don't know
audience.
if they want people to know.
The audience can't spell.
The audience can't spell.
Real nice.
Have you
way
seen
to
the
belittle.
comments? Have you seen the comments?
Do you hear how he talks about you guys?
Shut up! Don't tell them. By the way, let's see. Darren Week says, as a lender and new resident, I can tell you nothing is more important than doing your budget and then changing your mindset. Changing your mindset. Somebody told me, don't fall in love with the house until you're actually in it. It's a business transaction. You got to look at it that way. And I know it's hard to do. Most people, you fall, but it hurts to dream and then have your dreams dashed. Crushed. Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's a business of course, there's a business aspect to it. It's like you said, knowing what your monthly budget was and sticking to that is better than saying, hey, I want the $400,000 house and I'll do anything to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good approach. But it also is, that's why it is important to talk to your lender and work with them and find out what it is you can afford. They're going to tell you what you can afford, of course, but you should know how to stay within your means.
Yeah,
too.
the bank that we worked with really wanted me to, tell me how much
that you can
that
spend.
I can go to. And I was like, no, I only want to spend this amount. And she's
Sure.
like, but you can do so much more. I'm
Sure,
like,
no.
I am aware that I only want to do this much. And I think she thought
That's
I
a
was
good
a psycho.
approach.
But the house I live in, I am not strapped each month when I go to pay my bills, one. And two, because of the way things have been and the amount of money I was able to save on the selling price, I have then used it to fix up my home. And now my home is worth way more.
You have equity already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even people now where the market's starting to even out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
there's no investment like a home, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even stocks don't pay off as well. So eventually what'll happen is equity will happen. And then you can put that kind of money and do the thing that you wanted to do to the house with the equity that you have.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff in the comments here. Let's see, where does it start? Darren, our buddy Darren Weeks says, get pre-approved by a lender before you start. Also, get out of vacation. This is the best advice, and I give this to everybody, is you have to understand before you move here that there is a huge difference between when you visit on vacation,
and live.
So in other words, happy times, and you live your life here, which is every type of time. Happy, sad, miserable, in between, and all that crap, right?
Remember, you were once a tourist, too.
Yes, you were once a tourist, too. And, right, which is why I feel bad about getting annoyed by tourists, because I just picture me and my dad, and I'm like, oh, people thought that about us?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they did. And so, but you have to get out of vacation mode because you have to realize that now you're living your life and you're living it here. And it is not, it's very exciting when you first move here, but nobody cares. Nobody's impressed that you're impressed that you're finally living here, but everybody else is like, yeah, this is just life, humdrum, ho hum, and you have to disabuse yourself of that very quickly.
How's this?
Yes,
get through the months of December through April.
Right, visit in that time.
Okay.
That was my next thing. Visit in the off season, and you'll see what it's like.
It's slower.
Everybody looks like they're about to hang themselves.
It's
right. You go into your favorite bar and they're like,
not true.
"What can I get you?"
It is a ghost town, though.
It is a ghost town.
It's a little
also
slower.
just know moving here. If you like eating dinner after 8 p.m.,
yeah, you're
not doing it out in town.
Learn to cook.
No, if you like doing
do
anything
this every
after
Thursday.
if you like doing anything after 8 p.m., you're not doing it here in Gettysburg. But there are places where you can. You just have to be willing to go out of Gettysburg.
Frederick.
And also, you're going to find that the places that you love to frequent as a tourist,
You're never going to go there again.
you're very rarely going to go there again
There's
because
one
you
in
don't want to
particular.
deal with the tourists. And also, you find that there's, I'm not bashing, but there's not. I'm not going to say better food elsewhere, but there's more of a variety of foods in Hanover, Chambersburg,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Frederick,
awesome.
and you're going to start going, well, let's go to Frederick, and it's more exciting to actually get out of town.
Yeah.
With that said, and I think this is more by virtue of what I do for a living than anything else, but I do really feel like I'm on vacation every day still, and. But I've also been very good at deluding myself throughout my entire life, so maybe that's why. But for most people, and I've seen this happen, where someone moves down here, they do it impulsively, rather rashly, like from this one couple, and this is going back 20 years. They came down, they took a bike tour. And they loved the place so much. They came and visited again like 2 months later. And I'm like, what are you doing back so soon? And they're like, we're looking for a place. We're moving down here. They had no jobs lined up. They had no idea what the job market was like down here. That's the second biggest piece of advice I can give you is if you're not retiring down here, then you need to really, really figure out, or if you're not, if you're working remotely or you're independently wealthy, that's different. But if you need to work, you need to figure out what it's like to work here because you're not working in town. Unless you're like a doctor or a
that
lawyer.
right there is the best piece of advice. It's
Thank
an
you.
awakening.
Thank you.
No, it's an awakening.
Thank you.
Remotely, because I came here with a remote job.
Yeah.
And that was great until COVID came, and then that all
Right.
shut it down.
Yeah.
And I had to reinvent myself, and you have to do that, But
And you've got a mansion on the lake.
And there's not.
So you got to
Yeah.
make
Yeah, it's a
make
mansion.
that nut every month,
Yeah.
And as we will talk about in the news, one of our biggest thing is tourism. And if you're not in the tourism industry, don't expect to find a plethora of jobs.
No.
And
The sheets,
yeah, everybody always says, "Oh, your husband's in IT; he'll be able to find a job right away."
not here.
Not around here. He
No,
won't.
and if you do,
Yeah.
it's going to be a place that doesn't realize that you need to pay IT people well.
It's basically the college.
yeah, basically
the college
Yeah.
or WellSpan.
Oh yeah.
So
They've got. Well, wait. Before you go on, let me just finish off with the comments here, and then we'll move on. Yeah, I read that about Darren and the Redderly resident. Peter Zach, great advice here. Great observation actually. He says, "Okay, something is making a nest in Matt's fake hair." September says it's the birds from the Gettysburg bird feeder cam. Sixth question says, I would not want to live in town. Moving to Chambersburg was the best idea for me. It gave me somewhere to go and still able to visit Gettysburg.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that. See, that's
I guess
what I'm talking about.
I guess what I'm saying is if you come and visit here and you love to do it, the best thing you could do to keep Gettysburg special is to not live in it and keep visiting it. And
There's some truth to that.
But you live what, 3 miles out of town?
Yeah.
Right? That's as far. You don't need to go any further than that. I'm not saying live in Maryland. I'm saying just don't live in town.
Mm-hmm.
Although there are things I do miss about living in town. There's obviously the convenience. You can walk to a lot of places. There's always something going on. And you're living in the town of Gettysburg. You're not living in, bum F small town somewhere. You're living in Gettysburg. And it's cool. And there's been a lot of notable people who've lived here. So there's a coolness to living in the town. And I say when you do that, rent.
Mm-hmm.
Rent in the town, get a feel for the area, explore the surrounding areas, and you're gonna find your private Idaho.
real quick, I have one more point.
And your blue heaven.
One of the things that was shocking to me. Now, thank God I lived in York in between. Wow. That's a sentence I never thought I would
Nobody
say.
has ever said, thank God I lived in York. The only people that said, thank God I lived in York were the founders when the British took Philadelphia.
But I lived in York in between. So I had some idea of what living in a bigger town was like. Because everybody always says, oh, Gettysburg is such a small, little, cute little town. It's not. Like, if you're actually used to a small town,
yeah,
this is not a small town.
Yeah, no, it's like a medium town.
Yeah.
It's on its way to a city.
It's a whole different ball of wax.
I think if the battle didn't happen here, it would look like Hanover by now. Gettysburg. Probably bigger than Hanover because it's a major crossroads town. Well, Hanover is too. So yeah, I think Gettysburg would have been like Hanover. Where you got the old town surrounded by blight and
all you have to do is
urban sprawl.
Look at the pictures from the 1960s. I mean, there were houses all over the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's true, but there weren't developments, there weren't shopping centers, there were like little pockets, and those were people that didn't sell off to the government.
It could have gone that way, though.
Yeah.
It could have easily taken that turn.
It could have turned into Manassas or Fredericksburg or something.
Yeah.
But I think that the battle being here has saved this, because, I mean, it's great land for neighborhoods. You can imagine neighborhoods in Pickett's Charge and, shopping center
Colt
across
Park.
the street. Well, that's true. Yeah, it's called Park.
Yeah,
no offense,
that's
Darren.
what it's called. That's exactly what it is, people.
There is a saying here amongst the locals is you can't call yourself a history person if you live in Colt Park, because you're literally shitting on the battlefield when you you have a bathroom in your house. I didn't make that up.
Yeah,
that's what
never
people have
heard that
always
one.
said about people who buy in Colt Park and claim to love American history.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Darren, I did not say that. All right, I just made that up. I just wanted to mess with Darren. He's probably not even watching anymore. All right, so here's what we're going to do, Chris. Tell the audience How do they get a hold of you if they want to move down here, if they want to do some real estate, or even if you live here and you want to sell your house, you can put it on the market for them as well, can't you?
Yes, I
can.
can.
Okay,
yes. So I work with Keller Williams on York Street.
Right.
And you're welcome to get a hold of me that way. You can reach right out to me directly is the best way, of course.
And how would they do that, Christopher?
You can do that through email.
What is your email? Jesus, this is like, oh my God.
Am I supposed to spell out my email to the audience? Really?
Well, do you want people to contact you?
Of course I do. Sure, you can put it on there. I hear her laughing back there.
She's got a list of things she's gonna rip you a new a-hole about.
I know. So you can reach out to CMORHOMES@gmail.com. That's cmorehomes@gmail.com.
But not more M-O-R-E.
No,
Is it Morano?
Correct.
And a lot of people do want to know. It's in the comments, actually. Is Morano Italian for moron?
No, it is not. But I've had some questionable relatives. So.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Have you? Did you hear that as a child? To say, what is that, Italian for moron?
I heard that until I beat up somebody once. Really
Which is going to be, his name was Matt Calorie.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be going for a break right now. Well, listen, Chris, thank you for coming on. If you want, of course, you're welcome to hang out in the back and...
there's more?
Well, there's...
Yeah, it goes on and on.
Yeah,
and
well,
on
the girls
and on.
have to do their news now, and that's very important.
Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so you can sit in the back, and the microphone's open. You can join in at that point. But, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the news. Go ahead, get yourself a snack. We'll be right back. Thanks,
Been
Chris.
craving a Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. We'll be right back.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Calorie.
Hold on there. Hold on. Oh, I got to make longer commercial breaks. People are like, why are so many commercials? Because I got to pee. We got to pee, folks. Hey, guess what's happening?
What?
on September 21st at 6:30 p.m. It's a Saturday. You know what's a big day on Saturday, September 21st? You've got the return of the Get Out of the Car tours at 10 in the morning. And at night, you have the return of a very popular event that we had out at the seminary, Wings and Trivia. Wings and Trivia.
Great times all around.
Yeah. Great times all around, except for when Colby makes everybody lose. What's in?
Better make sure that Taylor is off.
What time
I'll make
does
sure.
it start?
And we didn't lose. We won.
We won.
The game was... Let me hold on a second.
We did.
We're going to get back into this
6:30.
big time.
All right, when we get back from the break, okay? Let's just get through this. All right, so anyway, it's Saturday, September 21st, 6:30 p.m. Who is involved? You and your team of up to 6 players. Don't have 6 people? Well, I guess it would be 5. Don't have 5 friends that you can bring? That's okay. Other people don't either. This is the history field. There's plenty of people that are going to show up alone. And you could all get together.
If you've ever wondered what it looks like
and make a team.
Just the team of unfortunate souls, lonely. It sounds like a singles meetup, you know.
Why?
Charlie in the box. Who wants a Charlie in the box? It'll be the land of misfit toys.
If anybody was curious, this is what it looks like when someone cracks themselves up.
Hey, listen, it's Addressing Gettysburg. Your buddies over here at Addressing Gettysburg who love you very much. The Ragged Edge Coffee House and Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. Sign up online, seminaryridgemuseum.org, or call 717-339-1300. That's 717-339-1300. It's bring your own booze. It's $30 a person, including wings, mac and or cheese, and more, provided by the Ragged Edge. That's Wings and Trivia, September 21st. Be there.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hair's messed up on your head. You picture the 20th May, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow with
Little Ground Top Row. Oh, Little Ground Top is just, oh my God. It's so delicious. Isn't it? You love it. We all love it. Little Ground Top. That was a pretty good, did you hear that, Colby?
I thought it was really good.
That was the best one, I think.
No, I don't know if I'd give it your best.
Really?
The one I was telling you about the other day was solid.
Well,
that might
thank
be
you.
your best one.
Thank you.
What the hell are you talking about?
The transition from when the Walk Tallers just abruptly ends into my little music here that we're playing now. See, that's it. It was so good you didn't even notice it, Beth. Anyway,
I'm more concerned with your aggressive.
It's the hair.
I
got my.
Yeah.
Dude,
You're
it's
mean.
been designed 7 different ways in this one show.
I went to, I peed for like 5 seconds, but I had to do my hair.
Think about all the time you're saving being bald.
I know.
Because if that was real hair, it would be 20 times worse.
And I'd be wearing a hat all the time because I wouldn't want to.
Cindy, he would be walking around with one of those makeup mirrors, like the little flip, like a big pocket watch
I think it's
almost.
funny that you don't think he does.
I think you need to put the camera on in the back so we can see the show. Oh no, now we're sitting down. Never mind. All right. Anyways, let me get through with this here. Little Ground Top, ladies and gentlemen. Addressing Gettysburg, Bantam Roasters are excited to present a brand new offering. You know it. You love it. It's Little Ground Top. It's delicious. It keeps flying off the shelves over there at Bantam Roasters because so many people love it. They say, "I love it. Give me another one. Give me another. You know what? I'm going to buy 2 because I'm not going to be back for a month." So they buy 2. You could also buy them online. You go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe. That's CAFE, not CAFAY. A lot of people make that mistake, apparently. That's addressinggettysburg.com/cafe or Bantam Roasters at 82 Steinware Avenue here in beautiful, lovely Gettysburg, right across the street from the Dobbin House. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't tried it yet, you're depriving yourself and probably your children. Even if you have adult children, you're depriving them of something good. Even if they don't drink coffee, even if you never let them try it, the fact that you would have it would make you a better parent. That's the truth. In fact, 13 out of 72 dentists agree that you will be a better parent if you get 2 bags of Little Ground Time. That's addressinggettysburg.com/cafe or Bantam Roasters at 82 Steinware Avenue.
I hear really does something to you.
It puts them in a real mood. Doesn't
Fight
it?
the battle against being slow.
I didn't know if you were selling coffee or propositioning me for the minute.
My favorite part is that people on the chat are comparing you to Thaddeus Stevens.
I can see it, dude.
Hey, the studio line costs us money, so use it. Call 717-420-1978 to join the discussion, ask a question, or whatever. Just stop us from wasting money on the damn phone line. Oh, we're back.
All right, we are back now, and we have something that we haven't done in a while, and it's not because we haven't gotten them. I have, and then thank you everybody for all the really nice emails that you've sent me. But this is listener email. We haven't done listener email in such a long time.
It's true.
And excuse me, I have a few that I'd like to read to you, if you don't mind. Here, this is from Liz K, a new patron. She says, "I'm happy to be a patron. I retired at the end of last year."
You're getting the teacher.
Oh
look.
yeah, look at that. As soon as I stop talking, suddenly he notices I'm not talking.
It's a madhouse back here tonight.
Yeah, now he's paying attention. Liz says, "I'm happy to be a patron. I retired at the end of last year and am now able to get back to my Civil War passion," which is Spanish for passion, especially my family history and Gettysburg. I did a search of podcasts to listen to in Apple about the Civil War to keep me company while I work on my research on the 81st Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. Addressing Gettysburg popped up and I started listening and listening. I enjoy your show and your guests. I decided to join your Patreon because of that enjoyment and because of how much I was learning listening to your show. You do a great job. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz.
That's very
And
sweet.
also Luke. Luke says, this is, of course, in response to my thank you for becoming a patron email. "Matt, it is my pleasure. So last summer, I was preparing for my first trip to Gettysburg. I was taking in as much information and content on the subject as I could. Addressing Gettysburg stood out to me in a few different ways. The introduction sound, the introductory sounder is iconic and always gets my attention." This one here. That's not it. I really need a bigger board here with it doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about, Sam Elliott. I really enjoy the rapport you generally achieve with your guests. Generally, I achieve that. They are always knowledgeable and come across as relaxed in speaking on the podcast. I enjoy watching the conversations for this reason. It is refreshing to see. Piggybacking off of that point, the overall ambiance of the production appeals to me very much. I wanted to become a member of the Patreon because I support what you are about. I have already learned so much from this production, and I want to learn more. I appreciate your efforts and can't wait to see what else we can learn. All the best, Luke. Thank you, Luke, very much for that. And we, no one else has responded yet, but we got a whole bunch of patrons this week because apparently, well, actually, I don't know because I haven't gotten the responses yet, so I don't know why they joined. But, a lot of people are surprised to learn that 27 out of 14 airplane mechanics say that if you become a patron over at patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg, you have a better chance of knowing some more things than you already knew for the guide exam. And how can you take away anything from a guarantee like that, right? I mean, how can you? I mean, amazing. Wow. What, Culp?
27 out of 14.
27 out of 14. What did I say? Airline mechanics. Airplane mechanics.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
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 Were they pregnant airline mechanics?
That is ridiculous. They can't work on planes while they're pregnant. How are they going to get in those tight spaces? So what else is new?
Let it breathe.
Just let it hang there. What else is new, Colby, with you? Anything exciting?
I've
good. Know. Debbie, did we? Debbie. Oh, Debbie. What? Debbie, did we? What's the deal with dinner?
Oh, then we got to get our act.
All right, we've got to get our act together, ladies and gentlemen, because you know why? We tend to go over because the girls just keep interrupting themselves in the news.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
More than 700,000 visited Gettysburg in 2023, providing a large economic impact.
Have something to say about zoning in Gettysburg? The borough is opening up a forum for the public.
Popular Gettysburg restaurant closed for the foreseeable future.
Bombs found while armed and wanted man taken into custody in Adams County. All this and more on today's news.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, that's one of the most interesting ones. If you want to,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Here,
it's okay.
You can start with.
Well, ladies, this is crazy. Colby, have you heard that about the bombs?
I'm sorry. Here.
The bombs.
Exactly.
You just start talking.
The girls are going to tell us. Go ahead, girls.
All right. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the bombs, though. I think that should be the first one.
Let's talk about the bombs. There was that joke that she had before. There was the one that I had. Those were two big bombs.
I think I had a bomb in there.
Oh, yeah. Colby had a bomb about bombs.
Bethany's bomb was the best. Though.
Yeah.
Wow. I dislike all of you.
He said, wow.
It was huge.
You want me to read it?
So huge.
Wait, it's up to you. You know,
is that me?
No.
It's the news story for the headline. Because you can do what you want.
I have no idea because whenever you play my laugh, I don't realize it's me. It doesn't sound like what I feel like my laugh sounds like. That's not me.
Yeah, that's you.
I like it. I like it with the music in the back.
That was you. That was you when you gave a speech a couple of weeks ago.
It sounds like Kamala Harris.
It is Kamala Harris.
I got hairy legs.
Okay, go ahead.
Jacob Didenhaver.
Easy for you to say.
36 of Loganville faces felony charges of weapons of mass destruction and prohibited
mass destruction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait till you hear this.
Prohibited
we'll take
possession of a firearm and also a misdemeanor drug charge regarding Monday's incident in Straban.
Yes, Straban.
Right by
Township.
Yeah.
According to the criminal complaint, Didenhaver told state police about two homemade explosives, one that was in the back of a pickup truck and the other inside a backpack, as well as an AR, shotgun, and revolver that were in a different vehicle at the scene. So apparently this guy led police on a foot chase through Adams County.
Really?
Yeah, he did. So first they put out a thing that there was an armed and dangerous man.
I didn't get that at all.
You didn't?
They didn't tell me.
It was in the area
I don't remember that coming across the wires in the studio here.
300 block of Smith Road into Straban Township. I'm not sure if you know when that is, but it was around 10:45 in the morning on Monday. They got a report earlier in the day about a man who was later identified as Didenhaver. Is that what you called him?
Is one of
acting strange and carrying an AR rifle and pistol with a shotgun. Is that a bandolier?
Bandolier, yeah.
Bandolier. Okay, thank you. State police wrote in an updated news release around 5:30 p.m. After responding to the scene, he tried running away but was captured and taken into custody. The pipe bomb was found inside vehicles that were at the scene and was removed along with other firearms. And then that one was also found in the backpack near the vehicle. There were multiple warrants out for his arrest, so on and so forth. But then that was the update. So yeah, he has charges with
what are his weapons of mass destruction though? What
the bombs. Didenhaver told the state police the weapons were to
I thought like a nuke.
No.
No.
Were to, and I quote,
Oh,
keep,
jeez.
Who cares?
keep
The
police
best part of
at
that
a
whole the best part of that whole story was seeing Matt see his hair on his head and have to double take himself.
What?
You were looking at your computer, looked up at the monitor, and then double looked at the monitor, and I'm almost 100% positive it's because you have that
I was
hair
looking
on.
to see that you didn't have the computer on because I wanted to. So go ahead, go to it now so people can see. Well, I'll show you Smith Road.
All right.
All right. So there it is.
Can you zoom out?
Oh, okay. So it's right off of
15.
15. It's by Tractor Supply.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's that road behind Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
That's where they
Behind
caught
the
him,
Rofo.
or that's where he lives?
That's where
they caught him. He's from Loganville.
Dittenhaver told state police the weapons were to, quote, keep police at a distance, unquote, and
All
that
right,
he
cool.
had
Take it
smoked crack earlier in the morning.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Dittenhaver.
I mean, who
state-
wakes up in the morning and goes, let's smoke some crack?
Right. Dittenhaver does.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 300 block of Smith Road.
All right. You guys take over for a second. I'm going to turn the phones on so Grant can call.
Okay.
So we were talking about visitation as well. More than 700,000 visited Gettysburg and provided $88.5 million in economic impact. The National Park Service says 742,000 people visited the National Military Park and 98,000 people visited Eisenhower National Historic Site last year.
Which is a huge increase.
That is. Yeah, that's great.
Bigly.
At Eisenhower, at least.
Those visitors spent $61.4 million in communities, supported more than 700 jobs in the area, and had a cumulative economic benefit of $88.5 million for the local community. I'm so proud that our parks and the stories we tell make lasting impacts on more than 300 million visitors a year, said National Park Service Director Chuck Sams. So that's great news for them.
That is great news. And I was talking to people, the Eisenhower peeps, recently, and they said that their attendance has gone, I'm not going to say through the roof, but has definitely increased since they've allowed people to drive out there and not had the shuttle.
Can you imagine how many people would have been going there all those years if they had just let people drive out there?
I mean, it would have been a lot. And they've definitely increased the number of events that they do. They
Yeah.
did the egg roll this year, and they,
Delicious.
World War I and the
What is the egg roll?
D-Day, the
It's that
for
Chinese
Easter egg.
thing that you get with your
Easter egg roll.
They're
beef and
doing
broccoli.
a World War II on
Weekend.
September 28th, right?
The weekend of the 21st.
21st. Oh, it's that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And one of the things that I'm not going to say that it's a specific person that has increased this, but they have a different dynamic in the team that works at Eisenhower now. And they
that makes a
seem
difference.
Yeah, they seem to definitely be more like, let's do events and let's try to get people, here for different reasons than just the house.
Yeah.
And it has been very successful, so I'm very proud of them. I think it's been great.
There was just something that was posted
Move
about the train station that they're having an event, a coffee with a
ranger.
A historian.
No, a historian. That's cool. Is that a common thing? Do they do that all the time? Is this the first one?
They used to.
we do. There are 2 planned for this year, and there'll be more for next year.
Was this a you thing?
Yes.
Great job. I said that. I said to Matt, and he was like, "Oh, that's great. It'll get some people there. That's
Yeah.
an awesome idea."
Yeah.
So very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah.
So there
Was
you
your
go,
idea?
people out
Yeah.
there. It was.
Well, it was a great idea.
And they're doing
Good
2
for
this
you.
year.
Oh,
That's
stellar.
exciting.
Then this one's going to be with Rob Abbott.
Yes. So you're going to need to talk about that so that people can go
Yeah,
and check out the
yeah.
train station. Ticket to the past.
And people are going to like talking or listening to Rob talk.
Yeah, and it's an hour. And you
9
can
to
just,
10 a.m.
There's no talk. All it is
just questions.
you
Coffee.
You can sit there
Tiger,
and
be a
ask
tiger.
any question that you have ever wanted to know.
All right.
For those of you listening in the audio only, I'm making faces in the camera with my wig, and Colby's giving me direction, and I'm doing it like the male model that I am. Go ahead.
That's spot on, dude.
So these are, it's not the
Peacock.
my papers are in disarray here, so it's a little
It's
challenging.
okay.
but
It's
we
all
can
right.
talk
We
about
can vamp in the
Food
meantime.
101.
Yeah, we can.
Let's talk about this. Yes, please tell us this. This is terrible.
So Food 101 put a post on Facebook. It said, "Dear loyal Food 101 customers, it is with a heavy heart that we inform you that we have closed our doors for the foreseeable future." It has been a pleasure serving the Gettysburg community, and we will miss you. Thank you for all your support over the years. We are so grateful to have been able to serve you. So the restaurant just closed.
And that
with,
makes
like,
it
no
a little
warning.
confusing with that
Foreseeable
future.
right.
But then
And
they
then it's
changed their Facebook page to say permanently closed.
Yes.
So, well, I guess they were able to foresee to the next day.
It does say here that earlier in the month, on
They
August
were.
15th, the restaurant shared that they were looking to fill several positions, such as a full-time or part-time server, a full-time prep and line cook, and a part-time dishwasher. I don't think
So
they
maybe
could find
did
staff.
they lose? Oh God, that's terrible.
And so they had
That's
to
awful.
close.
I feel very bad. If that's the case, I feel very well. Whatever the case is, I feel bad. I hate to see businesses close down, but
Ugh, and
that
their
place
truffle
had,
fries.
oh my God, the
But
fries, the fries, the club, the
The-
burger. They had the best burger in
Primavera
town.
Pizza.
I never had their
Oh, it
pizzas.
was amazing.
But everything I had there was fantastic, and I hope whoever. I don't know the owner.
I don't either.
But whoever that was, I hope that they're able to regroup and open up somewhere else, or get in with someone who has a place that's looking for good food or wants whatever. I don't care. Just get out there somewhere and let us all know, because the food was really good, and I hate to see that close that way. But especially if the reason is because they couldn't find help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've been open since 2015, so that's a little strange to me. Normally, if you're going to go under, it's within the first 5 years.
And normally it's very obvious to people who go in, like,
they're not gonna make it.
you can see, yeah.
They were always busy.
Always busy.
Always.
Never bad quality food.
No.
The service was always good.
But if you can't find staff, you can't find staff.
I know.
You know, and if
Jesus, and with the college right there, you'd think that they'd be able to find some dopes to open, or come in there. Oh, but they needed skilled.
They needed real.
Yeah, they needed people that
like
knew what they were
a full-time
doing.
prep and line cook. That's not something I could walk in off the street and do.
It is a shame.
Yeah,
very sad.
So hopefully to them, let us know where you're gonna go or what you're gonna do.
Yeah, for sure. Fairfield OK's new zoning. So we're moving into Fairfield now. And so I thought that the most important piece of this little article here is there's the new ordinance restructures the existing zoning rules to make them more understandable while making a few updates to the standards, according to the council. The vote was unanimous. But the new measures maintain the current zoning map and districts, but they modify a process, blah, blah, blah. But the most interesting-ish thing is no residents attended the public hearing held before the council meeting. And I guess that's my whole point here, because it does go into that development that they were looking at for Fairfield Commons that we talked about a few weeks back. And so they were talking about that here too. There's construction. It's a 20-unit housing development. It's been planned for nearly 20 years, but it's underway now.
It's that old saying, you got to be in it to win it. You can't bitch about what your council does if you don't go to the public meetings and raise a stink.
Right. Yeah. And this, it's Fairfield.
You can bitch. We're Americans. We can bitch about whatever we want. But you know what I mean? Like, you should go and do it. Like, if you don't want to be.
Or there'll be
Where is
soon.
this where is this neighborhood going to be?
It's Wirtz Drive.
Wirtz Drive. I'm going to look it up on my map and I'll show everybody.
Okay.
WORTZ?
Yes.
All right. In Straban,
in Fairfield. And it's called Fairfield Commons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then they also talked about how they received a quote for $3,000 for new blinds for
it's like right
2
downtown.
windows in the borough office.
It is right downtown. So. Let's show everybody, Colby.
Showy?
Colby.
Yeah.
Wirtz Drive. Wait, so where is this going to go?
Oh, that's right behind Ventura's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's a 20-unit housing development.
So that's probably over here, right?
Honestly,
that's what I was. Yes.
Wait,
that's
where are we?
20 units isn't that big. Is it going to be multiple stories?
Here's
Main
116.
Street.
And Gettysburg is this way.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I missed the part that we weren't in Gettysburg.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, Fairfield.
Let's do this. Oh, there we are. So what is that?
That's probably it.
You think it's going to go there?
It was a farm.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be there, huh?
Yeah.
Now the good news is though, is like 20 units isn't that big. Are they going to be multiple stories, or is it all like separate?
You know,
20 separate units.
I can't remember. I think there's a few separate
it's that
buildings.
farm field right there.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
it's
Worth
that green.
Drive.
It's that green right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Worth Drive is up there too. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Now Now I need to replace this one.
But I can't recall Colby. Colby
beef.
There was
good.
a much larger article on it a couple of maybe 2 months ago or so when we talked about it. So
you know say.
But also plans for new homes take step forward in Straban. So there's that too. Long-running development of the Courtney Meadow residential community continued Tuesday as Straban Township supervisors approved preparation of a contract between the township and the developer. It calls for 151 new single-family residential buildings on a parcel between Old Harrisburg and Hunterstown roads. Most of it is in Straban Township, but a small piece of land across Rock Creek with road frontage is in the Gettysburg Borough, according to the Planning Commission from meeting minutes. This thing has been going on for a really long time. And so part of the issue here is that the project needs access to state drainage lines, and that access requires highway occupancy permits from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, for which Straban, not the developer, must apply. So there's a lot of red tape to jump through, and it's just ongoing. The developer's agreement is needed before they can. And then it also said that there was a similar scenario played out for that Aldi thing. So that Aldi store... and that development on Camp Letterman that's underway now that you were talking about before is 226 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. So that's what's being built there.
I cannot imagine
226
what that
1- and 2-bedroom apartments.
That end of the road is going to be like when all those houses are there. Because all those people are going to have to come out. I mean, that Giant is going to be impossible to shop at.
We have a Giant?
What, in Gettysburg? Where's the Giant?
Well, they're putting.
What are you?
There's also
hungry.
There's also an entryway and an exit that's coming out right from there. Probably only, I would assume, right turn only.
Search the Giant.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. But then they're also expanding that road, so that's a big development going on there.
If I may, just before you move on to the next story, Darren Week says, Matt looks like Russell Crowe starring in a movie about Axl Rose, The Later Years.
They took you down to Retirement City.
That's good. Retirement City. I like that.
So we've been talking about zoning a lot over the past couple weeks because it is going to be a big issue. They are redoing the whole zoning package here in Gettysburg and in the borough. So it is going to definitely affect the way Gettysburg will look into the future.
How do they look into the future
I was
now?
just gonna say, dude, I think they're ahead of the ball game on that one.
How
should
Gettysburg
take this global
looks into the future.
Yeah,
like
how do they
the town will be in the future? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm done.
How it looks in the future.
I'm done. The Gettysburg residents have the opportunity to talk to a zoning consultant who will be on site at the rec park on Monday, September 16th. His name is John Whitmore. He is the director of planning, zoning, and code enforcement. Nope, that's a total lie.
Damn it.
John Whitmore is the director of planning, zoning, and code enforcement, but there is a zoning consultant separate from John Whitmore who will be there. I'm assuming John will be there too. So they're going to redo this whole package helping with the help of a firm called Michael Baker International. They're going to lead the first phase of the work, and it's gonna take forever. I'm sorry to say. What?
I went back to the beginning of the comment section. John B says he looks like someone that sells timeshares at Hilton Head. Talking about Colby. Go ahead.
No, he's talking about you.
What?
I think we move on to
Spot the
events.
giant.
Keep going.
Okay, it's
Push
time to do
through.
that. So if anybody wants to go to this zoning thing, you can look up more information online, but it will be on Monday, September 16th at the Rec Park.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this weekend in events, we have the Gettysburg Wine and Music Festival.
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
That's the music that they're going to play.
It is the 20th annual Gettysburg Wine and Music Festival. It is less than 2 days away. Remember, if you are attending the festival, you must have your ID in hand. It does not matter how old you are, or I'm sorry, it does matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old you think you look. Oh, dear Matthew. If you do not have your ID, you will not be permitted to enter the festival. Remember, being asked for your ID is a compliment. Don't have your tickets yet? Get them online now. Save $5. There is a link. They do have a Facebook page, Gettysburg Wine and Music Festival. And no ID, no drinky. So
no ticky.
No drink.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, don't be a jerk face and go in there and go, oh, don't I look old enough? Everybody has to do it. Just do it.
What is
so
this
we can
for?
all have a good time.
The Gettysburg Wine and Music Festival.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody has to have an ID.
ID in
yeah.
hand, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You sound intoxicated.
Yeah.
It's flattering, frankly, to be ID'd.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Taylor always manages to leave hers at the house.
What is it with people that do that? You know, I know people, or they just like walk around with like their bank card and their ID in their pocket, no wallet, no nothing, or they leave it at home. Like, how do you forget that?
Dude, Taylor most days does not have any way to pay for things except Apple Pay. She'll leave the house without anything.
But like no ID?
No ID, no nothing.
Why?
I don't know. She does it all the time.
Was everything taken care of her when she was taken care of for her when she was growing up?
No, I mean she's super responsible in other areas, but yeah, I mean she's
a nurse. She's got a lot on her brain all the time.
Shouldn't have that much.
We all have a lot lot on our brain.
She's got
we
TikTok.
take our IDs with us. Come on,
TikTok on the brain.
You don't take your ID
She's
with you.
got TikTok on the brain.
That's true. You have yours attached to your phone, right? You have yours in your phone.
Taylor does a magnet thing, but she never keeps it attached to the phone. It's always like sitting on the table in the house.
Oh, you need to have one that you can't take off.
Attached.
Right now, it's in my truck.
No, you need to
Why?
have
Her whole wallet, everything.
If you get into a fiery crash, God forbid, and the only thing that's left is your ID, they're going to think she's dead.
Well,
Tyler. Why did I say Tyler?
Taylor.
That's my middle name.
Tyler Sumner.
Kobe and Tyler.
Colby and Tyler Sumner.
This weekend is also the second annual Butterfly Day at Hollabaz.
Yes.
On Saturday.
That's exciting.
So they're going to have crafts, face painting, story time, games, butterfly friendly
You're my
plants for
butterfly.
sale, and pick your own
Baby.
florals. You can register beforehand so you can have your own painted lady butterfly. I don't know what that is.
The
Painted lady butterfly.
Oh, you don't?
No, what is that?
They
Look
take
it up.
you
It's
into
a
a back
certain
room.
type of butterfly that
You can take it home.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
It's painted butterfly after hours.
How about I read the rest of it?
Get the painted lady.
You can register beforehand to release your very own painted lady
Now
butterfly.
that makes more sense.
Release your painted lady.
Oh dear.
But
Oh dear.
the events Hollabaz has done a really good job at events. I mean, they're just
I have
kicking butt.
another one that I'm going to
So
say after
we
this.
should
Oh,
have
yeah?
somebody from Hollabaz on.
Wait a second.
Good,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good idea. Why haven't we gone to any of these events? What events have they had?
Oh, they do a lot of stuff for kids.
Yeah, they
So
do.
you-
Oh, well, yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to.
It's like when we were there and the
the pumpkin launch.
chucking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got to go to the Apple Harvest Festival though.
That's at the
That
round
is
barn,
not
right?
Hollabaz. Great segue, Colby.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I love
that
you.
that one?
I love you, Colby.
Painted butterfly.
I love you.
So
Painted
Rise
butterfly.
Yoga at Gettysburg is celebrating 1 year, which is really exciting for them. For those of you who don't know, it's at 2311 Fairfield Road, Suite A in Gettysburg.
Should we look that up on show everybody?
Sure,
on the
go
map?
for it.
No, we don't want to.
They're excited to announce they'll be celebrating 1 year anniversary of growing together by kicking off our fall season with a special weekend of wellness. It is this
Are you
weekend,
in
the
the
6th to the
beaver phase
8th. So Friday to Sunday. Come to a single event or join us all weekend long. It's especially important to us to make this practice as accessible as possible. Which is why we will be offering free and accessible tiered pricing throughout the celebration weekend. All are welcome. Full schedule of events is posted on their website. Again, it's riseyogagettysburg.com, so you can check that out. That is this weekend.
There is indeed a Coffee with the Historian event at the Ticket to the Past at the Lincoln train station. The guide will be Rob Abbott. It is a 1-hour discussion. It takes place outside, so dress accordingly. But it is a Sunday morning. We provide the coffee and the tea. All you have to do is come with questions. And it can be anything. It can be history related, or it can be what is it like to be a guide, or it can be like, what's the dumbest question you've ever received from a tourist? You know, whatever you want to ask. But there, it is pre-register, and tickets are online at gettysburgfoundation.org.
So speaking of both Rise Yoga and Hollabaugh, Rise Yoga is going to be at Hollabaugh's farm on Sunday, September 15th. So it is at 2:00 p.m. Bring your own mat or feel the grass under your toes. Stick around after to pick your own apples. They did start that, which is exciting. And so, you know, we may be going to pick some apples soon. Each ticket includes 5 pick your own apples. Bring the whole family. It's $20 per adult. Second adult from same household is $10. Up to 3 children attend for free with each adult ticket. And again, that is Sunday, September 15th.
Cole, what are you doing? Go to the 6.
I was trying to get you to give me a face, dude.
I'm sorry. I want to play it. So here. Is it got the thing?
Did we glitch?
No. Just watch.
Okay.
It's got the green screen thing. I'll fix that for next week. Okay, here we go. Watch. Ready? And hold on.
That's good.
Idiot. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's get over with this. No, because dinner. Dinner.
Do you have more?
One more.
Children's Museum?
Yeah, you can do that one. I have a different one.
Well, I have a different one too.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this one.
Go for
the
it.
VFW Post 15 is going to have their chicken barbecue this weekend.
That wasn't auxiliary at all.
I'm having a moment. It's at the rec
You
park.
gotta Go eat.
Sorry, my
ahead.
phone just
Chicken barbecue.
stopped.
Chicken barbecue at the rec park.
All right.
Yeah, they're having a chicken barbecue at the rec park.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When's that?
Gosh darn it.
Gosh.
I would love to tell you,
Gosh.
except that my phone just crashed. So hold on 1 second.
Oh, no.
Anyway, go ahead, Cindy.
Children of Gettysburg 1863 is having their summer living history programming on the 7th and 8th, which is Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Summer living history with the Society of Civil War Surgeons, 11th Union Corps, and Florida Confederate Brigade medical groups, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the Rupp House side yard. Step into the past as you interact with living historians and explore their camps. You can check out the Children of Gettysburg 1863 Facebook page for more information.
The chicken barbecue is on Saturday. They're raising money to help with the local VFW Post 15 auxiliary. Starting at 10 a.m. and extras will be available for sale while supplies last.
Oh, for the movies.
Yeah.
The Gettysburg Area School District, I thought this was interesting. They are doing a 2-mile battlefield walk with the Gettysburg Area School District. Bring your family and friends along with your bike, scooter, or just your walking shoes. Don't miss out on the sweet finish at Mr. G's. It's September 12th at 5:45 p.m., starting in the Gettysburg Area Middle School parking lot, the stadium side. And
is that through ABT?
No, it's through the Gettysburg Area School District.
Oh, wow.
They're doing it. So meet at the parking lot for a 2-mile loop, finishing at Mr. G's.
Because who doesn't love Mr. G's? And is this free parking because it's a school event?
Interesting. It does not say.
And if it is free parking, can we park in the lot behind Mr. G's, or do we have to park in the metered lots and where you have to pay?
Me no like you pay.
I'm going to be homeschooled and a lot of pain and suffering a public school behind me. Screw you guys.
I'm
going
going
homeschooled.
Homeschooled.
Okay, that's all I have.
Well, then I just wanted to mention that next week we have the folks from Michaud Brewing Company.
Michaud Brewing Company,
Here
yes.
in
The new
Gettysburg
place.
on.
Was that Baltimore Street they're on?
It is, yes. And they just launched their food menu, which looks amazing.
Really?
So that was just this week.
What jumped out at you?
Well, I mean, it's just, salads, wraps, hoagies, different sides.
Hoagies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you enjoyed the way they looked in the descriptions.
Yeah. And then they added some new menu items to their Waynesboro location too. So they're very heavily involved in a lot of different community things out in Waynesboro, and they're getting that way here. I'm excited to talk to them. I think that it's a great addition to Gettysburg.
Wonderful.
Sure.
Then that's what we'll
Indeed.
do is we'll talk to them.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you have over there, Beth? What's anything new with the foundation? Any big event coming up this weekend? We already talked about that.
I was going to say, were you not listening?
No, I wasn't.
Sure wasn't.
I was acting like a clown, guys.
World War II weekend.
That's the 20th.
Is 19th through the 21st.
21st. Yeah, it's actually the weekend of the 20th, right?
Well, Friday, yes.
But Friday, Eisenhower's closed. Jason was saying the other day that Eisenhower's closed Friday so that everybody can go in and set up. The public can come in on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be...
After the Get Out of the Car tour.
Yeah, pretty
and
intense.
Before...
Trivia.
I will be
And then
there.
you're going to come to trivia and the Get Out of the Car tour in the morning, of course.
The foundation will be there at the welcome tent, so you can come say hi. I personally will be in the kids tent. We are running instead of Children of Gettysburg 1863, which is the museum.
Yeah.
We're running a Children of Gettysburg 1944.
That's cool.
Well, that's good. I have to come clean with the audience over something that is probably going to shock them. But the best thing to do is take off the Band-Aid. This is not my real hair. I know. Look at that. I am bald like Lex Luthor. So I am sorry, folks. I have deceived you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're going to go. We're going to eat. Got a half hour to spare, and that's wonderful. We'll see you there. Will we? Bye.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin MacLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Sydney Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and some more education. So go to patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
I got hairy legs. America's dead.
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
He said, well, America's dead. True international effort to pressure.
This concludes our broadcast day.